Tiwa Danjuma said, or Paya Debanjo, that we have not said on Radio Biafra before. The Janjaweed are coming in from the north, as I told you that they will come. Consistent, it never changes. Yes. Very, very consistent. They are now beginning to speak the language of IPOB. That is the only way I can put it.
Amen.
There is nothing contained in what Tiwa Danjuma said or Paya Debanjo that we have not said on Radio Biafra before. The Janjaweed are coming in from the north, as I told you that they will come. They are strangling us economically, socially, and culturally, as I told you they would. I also told you that if you serve the zoo, you will come back in shame. Yes. Is that not happening?
It's happening.
On a basis.
Yes.
On
daily basis.
Every single day.
Yeah.
So even those who never believed before, now they believe in what we are doing. The message from Baltimore today to the whole world and those who are unfortunate to be in the zoo is this: that what IPOB is fighting for is for the betterment of everybody.
Yes.
Of everybody currently, or should I say presently, we must set those people free. Yes. For us to be completely free, we must set others free as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to say that their senses are now coming back. They are now realizing that what those miscreants are saying or have been saying for very many years is reality after all. But you know them, shame won't allow them to come out.
All of them.
Yeah.
I see IPOB as that rejected stone, isn't it? They said we can never be useful. And today they are waiting for this broadcast so they can learn something new.
Yes. Of course. They don't have a choice.
So they can learn something new. And you are the reason why I travel all over the world, very proud, determined in this very effort.
Of course.
Because sometimes I say to myself, why must we continue? Amongst us. People who don't understand the divinity of this very message. Biafra restoration is spiritual.
Yes. Forever.
It's not temporal.
Yes. Forever.
That is something that we need to appreciate and understand.
Yes.
Biafra restoration is not a franchise. Only it's not about that at all.
Never. Never.
I have nothing until Biafra comes. As I said to Elohim in the oath I took at the temple in Jerusalem.
Yes.
That I will have no earthly possessions.
Never.
Until Biafra is restored. What we are doing here is not a business. It's not a franchise. What we are doing within IPOB is the calling of God Himself.
Yes. That's true. True.
And that is why our enemies, regardless of the vast resources at their disposal, they are the ones who are panicking. We are not panicking.
Never.
We know where we are going.
Of course.
Because the zoo must fall.
Yes.
I promise the Fulani that I will break Nigeria into pieces. It will no longer exist as an entity.
Omega.
It doesn't matter what they do. It's a proclamation that will come to pass, because anything I say behind this microphone comes to pass. I said everything. Even when I said I'll sacrifice my parents, I didn't know what I was saying. It has come to pass.
Yes.
That is the way it works with us. Those who are in the flesh will not understand what we are doing.
Yes, of course.
They said you people are impossible to bring together. You hate yourself.
They are clowns. Clowns.
And within 24 hours, in a far-flung place from DC, this is the number of people who are here. That is confirmation that we not only love ourselves,
Always.
that we are determined to restore Biafra.
Yes.
Absolutely determined. They used to say to us that these people cannot come together, nor contribute money, nor do anything that will benefit those they don't know. But you have proven them wrong.
Big time. Yes. Big time.
What you're doing today, no other group of people can do it in Africa. I say none can do it.
Even in the whole world.
This is the largest mass movement on this earth. I said the largest.
Yes. 70 million.
And the era of Fulani emasculation of other people has come to an end.
Over. Forever.
It is over.
Over.
That when they go to sleep, they think of Ipob and they have convulsion. That was what we set out to achieve from day one.
Yes.
We've not carried arms yet. And that's
Oh,
like this.
okay, below.
Did you see our men in nowhere at all? Did you see them in nowhere?
Yes.
Can you imagine giving those men arms? What will happen?
Yes. Yeah.
We must preach this very gospel, this very day. Some people ask you, what have you accomplished? What are you doing? But, Deputy Mamemaka, on my way here, they said that the Inspector General of Police, I'm reading from Guardian, have now ordered the immediate removal of every illegal checkpoint. Yes, that's right. In our part of the world. IPOB, one family. IPOB, one family. IPOB, one family. IPOB. Because they understand we are not criminals, we don't steal. Yes. We are not asking for anything that doesn't belong to us.
It's your abandon.
What we are asking for is a right to establish Biafra, the way it was before the white man came. That right is inalienable.
Yes.
That right is natural.
Yeah.
Anybody not pursuing Biafra, I keep saying this all the time, you either have a mental problem, or I'm being honest with you,
I'm wrong.
you either have a mental problem,
Big time.
or you have a questionable bloodline.
Big shot. Yeah, big time. Of course. I'm not better. I'm not better.
Because all of us, everybody here comes from an autonomous community, is that correct?
Yes.
Is there any community that is not autonomous where we come from? No. What is the meaning of autonomy? To be on your own. Why is it that you will argue for autonomous communities in your own villages when it comes to Biafra to be autonomous from the zoo? You say no. Does that make any sense to anybody? No. They said they have now removed the checkpoints, but you know how they behave in the zoo.
Until you see it.
Until we see it.
Verifiable truth always.
Some people ask us, or they asked us the other time, I'm just trying to tell you some of the accomplishments we've been able to make since we started coming to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
We're not hiding anything. Nothing is out in the open. Yes. Those who are working for us in the DC, if you go to your DOJ, you see their papers there. You see how much we are paying them. You see the work they're doing for us. Because we are not asking USA to do something that hasn't been done before. Yes. We are not criminals. We are not terrorists. Who are the terrorists in Nigeria? Who are the terrorists in Nigeria? They have 4 terrorist groups. 4. They have 4 terrorist groups. All funded by the Fulani.
Yes.
And Arabs.
They have Boko Haram,
Yep.
Islamic State of West Africa.
Yes.
They have Al Qaeda in the Maghreb.
Yes.
And they have these very deadly Fulani headsmen.
ISIS.
Yes, ISIS is Islam. Islamic State in West Africa. They said they will not give the presidency to an Igbo man because of what Nnamdi Kanu and Ipob are doing. Yes. That's what they said. Yes. Can you imagine if Biafrans were to produce 4 terror groups, what will happen to us?
Bombshell.
Those that are currently funding 4 terror groups are allowed to rule in perpetuity.
Yes.
British edifice. UK government edifice.
And they have discovered something that I'm sure that most of you have known all along. That should the Fulani man decide to rule the zoo for the next 100 years, they can do it and nothing will happen. You know why they will rule it for the next 100 years? They control INEC. No, they own, not control, they own INEC. They own EFCC. So when you start asking questions, they'll go and lock you up. Or if they see you as a threat, they lock you up.
Yes.
They own the National Assembly. When you criticize them, they introduce hate speech bill. They own the army. They own the navy. They own the police. They own customs. They own civil defense. Everything is under their control. And they understand very vividly that the Yoruba man, that is the 3rd leg in this equation, will never speak out. They understand that.
We know.
Because an average vindictive Yoruba man is more interested in what is coming from the east than the calamity coming from the north.
Always.
But I am grateful that the Fanika days of this world are the banjo. And the man that henceforth I will respect, they are laughing of Oyo. He spoke. Are you aware of that?
No. He said that he was introduced commerce to them.
I will tell you what the Alafin of Oyo said so that you may be able to understand precisely what is happening. He said that it is a shame that the Yorubas have become slaves in their own land. Wow. He said it only 2 days ago. The same thing that we have been saying from day one. That Tinubu, if you continue along this path you're going, the Fulanis will swallow you without trace. The Yoruba land will sink. And as we are saying, they hosted their flag, didn't they? In Ekiti State.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
For the first time?
Yes. Who is the governor of Ekiti State? Adeyemi, they call him.
Fayemi.
Is it Fayemi? The same thing they used to do to us. Because Fayemi said he wants to contest to be the president of the zoo. They now said to him, prove your loyalty to the Fulani Caliphate. That's what they do now, don't you?
Always.
When Obiano wanted to go for 2nd term, they said, try and kill as many of your people as possible. That is what is happening in the zoo. They thought we would not have the presence of mind to bring all of those to the attention of the world, but we have done so.
Yes.
And we shall continue to do so. To put it the way the Oba, this is the foremost paramount ruler in Yoruba land. Because if I were to say this, they will say IPOB, they have come again. They are sowing seeds of discord. I like Yoruba people, I have nothing against them. But they are misdirecting the competition to the east. They should face the north.
Yes.
Right. Because we have nothing against them. Absolutely nothing against them.
Jealousy and the wickedness.
They can't hear me at the back? For production after this? Okay. It's just because of the echo, that's the problem. Is that okay?
You're fine, you're fine.
I don't think I need microphone.
No. The room is small. You don't need it. You don't need it.
But I'm alive on it. Yes, it is. I will tell you what the Alafin of Oyo said. In line with everything we have been preaching on Radio Biafra, to prove to you that the whole world is listening. He said, it's a shame that the Southwest has chosen to feed on the crumbs from the table of illiterates.
Yes. Wow. Big time. For the first time.
Everyone is now awake.
For the first time.
Wide awake. Now the Yorubas understand that Biafrans, the East, is not their problem. That their problem is coming from the North. They now understand what the Janjaweed have in mind for everybody.
Wicked culture.
And while some of us, even the very few who are here, not in this hall, of course, but those of you who are being sponsored by corrupt politicians from back home, you must understand, as the days of these corrupt politicians are numbered, so are your days as well.
Amen.
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 Yes, exactly.
Okay, listen.
That is to tell you that what you're doing is not a joke.
Yes.
The zoo is now paying attention. Very close attention. And as we are moving from building to building on Capitol Hill, office to office, so is the zoo. That is the question. How long can they do it? Are they more hardworking than we are?
Never.
No. At the focus.
So they will never ever succeed.
Exactly.
Not today, not tomorrow, not
Forever.
The trick they are playing is very simple. Subdue these people and keep the result away from the knowledge of the world.
Yes.
That's what they're doing. That if you go now to talk about what happened to us, they'll say, oh no, that was it's 50 years ago. Let's talk about what is happening now. And we say to them it's not changed at all. We tell them that the Fulani Muslims are killing Judeo-Christians from the East. They say, no, there's nothing like that. It's not happening. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much did Buhari, when he was alive, give to the Clinton Foundation? $500 million. And that has gone to fund this false narrative that there is nothing wrong going on or happening in Nigeria.
Democrats.
Don't you know that? What do you think that lobbying is all about?
That's what it is. It's a corruption.
Because there's a saying where we come from. In the Rebana and Huji, may not your left get to say an article.
Naturally.
Is that not how it's done?
That is how it goes.
Because you're not there.
Yeah, of course.
We have come to the USA, and now they understand what is happening to us. And it's no longer going to be politics as usual.
As usual. You change everything.
No longer politics as usual. Now the world is aware of what is happening to us.
You change them at Wall Street.
And the funniest thing is that the Fulanis can no longer help themselves.
Yeah.
The dam has been burst.
Big time. The tempest.
They can no longer. They've opened the floodgates of hell. They are coming in from the Sahel into all nooks and crannies of the zoo. And some of us are here. And as I keep saying, when I say this, some people continue to laugh and to smile. If we don't do anything now and do it very quickly, by the time some of us get some, there'll be no more homes to go to anymore.
It's true. That's true.
What happened to the Jews of Israel will happen to us.
Yes.
By the time you get in there, others have now taken over your land. Is it only him? Who didn't hear what Danjuma said?
Yes.
This was the man that was charged with killing our people.
Yes.
He killed Ironsi.
304 officers.
Slaughtered
in less than
massacred.
28 hours.
Killed in that same damnable contraption. That some people wake up in the morning and say, I'm a proud Nigerian.
Abomination. Forever abomination.
They never loved you.
They will
From the
never.
beginning. It didn't start from 1960, no, 1966, no, 67. It started since 1945. They made it very clear.
Even before that, 4,000.
You make us feel inferior. They've said it many times. The reason why they are campaigning to stop Biafra is because they know that once Biafra comes, their primitivity, their backwardness, their illiteracy will be laid bare for the whole world to see. Because the world will ask them, are these Biafrans not the same black people from Africa as you?
Yes, they know. It's going to happen.
That is what they're afraid of.
Yes.
Some of us don't understand it.
Yeah.
They say, oh, you're a Nigerian. You have a house, you have a plot of land in Abuja. You have one rundown chemist in Zungeru. The people who are responsible for our plight today in our land don't seem to understand the damage that they have caused to us. And I can assure all of you who are here, 50% of you, which is half, if your children make it back home, then you're very lucky. At home, you have kids in America. Do you think they're coming to your village? I want us to be very honest. Do you think they will come to the village that when you're gone, they will stay in Obinna and live out the rest of their lives? Is it going to happen? This is to let you know that IPOB, Biafrans, is actually doing you a favor. It is doing you a favor. I have said this before. Some of you who are here, if your son or your daughter were to go over to Mexico to bring in somebody, will you say no? Can you stop them? No. We have too many enemies.
Yes.
Too many enemies. Ordinary town hall meeting in Baltimore. Facebook can't even allow us to stream it live.
Wow, really?
Yes, of course.
And the weekend.
This is the second time they've shut us down. Yes, that's what they're doing.
Zuckerberg.
Because any agency, any government, any institution or structure that has presence in the zoo is compromised.
Yes. Yeah. Go started it 1971.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Anybody with presence in the zoo is compromised.
Yes.
Because Facebook is in the zoo. That is why they're able to go in to shut down what we are doing, because they are panicking. They know we're exposing them. And they know that the whole world is listening. And they cannot stop us. They know we are unbribable.
Yes.
They cannot buy IPOB. It's impossible.
Priceless.
Priceless.
We are priceless forever.
The only thing you can buy is something with a price tag on it.
Yes.
If there is no price tag, the only thing you can do is maybe if you have a very dubious disposition, you try and steal it. You can't buy IPOB. We are unbuyable.
Unbuyable. Priceless.
And the zoo is crumbling as a result of it.
Yes.
We are doing you a favor. IPOB is doing you a favor. The only chance of having those your lovely children, your sons and your daughters coming back home to answer your name, join Otumonna in the village, is through IPOB.
Yes.
Only with the coming of Biafra.
Yes.
I'm even sure that some of you, were your children to say, I want to go home for Christmas, you will say no. Because the place is unsafe.
Let's show government.
Yes.
Terminology, oh, Gaza. Gaza.
Come over here. Oh, please, Deputy, can you come round? So if this goes down, we'll battle Facebook.
Yeah, of course.
We can sue them.
Can we sue them?
We can actually sue them.
Well, we can, of course. Yeah.
We can, yeah.
I wonder how they lost a lawsuit last time. 21 million people were compromised on their identity.
The whole world is listening, please, for information. We are live to the whole world. We're in again. I told the people that Jibril was dead. Sorry, Buhari. Jibril took over. Isn't that what I said?
Yes.
And the Aisha Buhari has confirmed it time and time again. But the animals in the zoo won't listen. You know what they do? You know what the zoo did? They went and cut out all the incendiary programs I did. Gave it to their lobbies on Capitol Hill. So anytime I go to see a senator, a congressman or woman, and I come out, they go in there, they start playing my broadcast to them.
Strategy.
See? That I harbor hate. That I'm a hate preacher.
The clowns. Wicked clowns.
I told the world that Buhari is dead. They didn't believe me. Of course, maybe they did, but they're lying to themselves. T.Y. Danjuma said, nobody will sleep if I reveal what is happening in Nigeria.
We will not be surprised. Because he started it when he was 29 years old. He killed Hiroshima.
Because they are all under a satanic oath. When I was saying it, they thought the world would continue to be very rosy for them. They never realized that Abba Kyari had other plans for them. The man who is in charge of Nigeria is Abba Kyari. He is the president.
Yeah, he's the president.
He was the one that recruited Jibril from Sudan. They know the truth. But the Yoruba media that should have carried the truth declined to do so. Because it will mean that those miscreants were right after all. Do you see what? That somebody, that envy and jealousy can destroy you. They don't want the world to say that what IPOB is doing is correct, or that we are truthful people. Today, that monster they were helping to feed have now come to consume them. And mark my words and write it down, they will never ever stop until they have conquered everybody.
Yes.
Do you think they're going to stop?
No.
Because the Fulani also understand that should power leave their hands again, that is over for them.
Yes, of course.
And they're almost gone now. It's going to be over very soon. Of course.
That is why we must remain very determined and very resolute to do everything within our power to support whatever project or program being run by IPOB. That Biafra will be restored very quickly.
Yes.
And without further delay. For our own good. Not just as a nation, but also for your individual families.
Yes.
Or else,
God forbid.
Because since 1980, how many people do you know here in the USA went back home to occupy their father's compound? How many? Yeah, actually, some went. Some left as engineers and came back here now to do security guard. Is that not correct?
Correct.
That is the type of nonsense we are looking to stop. He's a former defense minister. He was very prominent in the running of the zoo. The same thing they did to Cancer, the same thing they did to Adakaboro, the same thing they're not doing to Joseph Kanu, the same thing they will do to Ike Premadi eventually, the same thing they are trying to do to Ziti Fano, who is capital lawyer? Abadibe, they know is untouchable. They know Abadibe is untouchable, they understand that.
Yeah, that is good.
No, it's an old news. It's an old news. They know he's untouchable. All these people were warned and they were told the only way you can survive is by supporting IPOB. If you don't, they'll come after you. They never listened. And today, what is happening to them? The Fulani people who are corruption themselves. I mean corruption. That the ones now pointing accusing fingers saying that other people are corrupt. So you are telling me there is no corrupt governor from the north? That is Hausa Fulani. Or Fulani, so to speak, not Hausa. Because Hausa people are victims themselves. I'm sure you all know that.
Yes, sir.
The same way that I warned you that what Fulani did to Hausa people is what is going to happen to everybody. They are very clever. They are very, very clever. They come, they say we are fighting corruption. They've been fighting corruption for the past 400 years. They isolate a few number of you. They convince you that their cause is worthy. That Buhari has come to fight corruption. They stand on that to destroy your way of life. Is anybody from Enugu State here?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
There are 14 Fulani settlements in Enugu. Settlements, I said, in Enugu. 14 of them. How many priests have been killed in Enugu? How many? Do you know that Miet Yala was given $3 million in Enugu? To stop further killing. Yes. Yes. Are you aware of that? So even the money that belongs to us, they are giving to Janjaweed, Alamati. They say they have taken all these Carlos properties. Properties he acquired allegedly using Abia State money. Is that correct? Yes. Who do you think should be the rightful? They said it's federal government.
That's correct.
Who delivered the judgment? A badly educated Fulani judge. Yet our people are still blind. When we are small, there is a saying. We are the ones who are doing exactly that now.
Yes.
They came to Nimbo. They came to Uzowani. They killed us. And people from Enugu State, some are saying they are Nigerians. That is how foolish and how mad some people are. They blackmailed Ugwan into giving them 14 choice pieces of land with which to establish a settlement. Wow. And you know how it goes. They start with a settlement. Next there will be a Sariki of the area. Yes. Isn't it? And the next they get voters card through Jega. And they will vote in their people to go to your council, local council. Isn't it? Yes. And then they have an imam. And from an imam, they now
Build
get a small emir in the village.
a big mosque.
And some of us will be saying, oh, it's in one Nigeria. Their counter argument will be, are you not in Sabongeri in Kanu? But if you're foolish enough, you won't understand. We are in Sabongeri, we worked hard for it, we built Sabongeri. It's a privately owned business. We are not in their land, occupying their land. Am I clear at all?
Yes. Truth.
Some people from Enugu say they are Nigerians. The same thing is happening in Ebonyi, where IPOB is battling them. I say it openly everywhere I go to. We are battling them. There is a war in Ebonyi State, and we're fighting them. They are killing us, and we're killing them. They understand that very well. The state government doesn't want to talk about it. The police and the army doesn't want to say it, but we know what is happening, and we are saying it. Some of you are not aware of the sacrifice that IPOB is making in Ebonyi State. Without IPOB, would have been gone by now. Yes. What some of you see is what we do on the surface. You don't see what we do when the lights are out. And it is all thanks to some of you, or should I say all of you. Where's the coordinator? All the people here, are they with us?
Not all of them.
Most are with us.
Most.
No. There must be.
I don't have a good choice than this.
I want you to understand something. That the work we are doing is for your own good. It's for the good of yourself and your family. If you don't fight for Biafra, who is going to fight for Biafra? I asked before we started, would you prefer that we do nothing and sit at home and do nothing?
No.
No, I'm asking them.
No.
Anybody in America that is not part of IPOB, would you prefer us to sit in our respective homes and do nothing about it?
No.
Eh?
No.
Where's the deputy? What did Tanko Muhammad say a few days ago regarding Sharia and the Constitution?
They said they will see it in the Constitution.
Exactly what I said when they appointed that Pawentapa. I said it. That's what happened. A man who is not lucid enough, not well versed in common law, he doesn't know anything, can barely express himself, is your chief justice. And when I meet people on Capitol Hill and I say to them that Nigeria is being Islamized, they say it's not possible. What is your proof? And I show it to them. Is anybody going to stop them from beginning Sharia? Can you stop them? No. Can you stop them? No. And you are still a proud Nigerian. And you're from the south, and I mean the south, by which I mean the east and the west. And you're a Yoruba person, you're saying you're a proud Nigerian. Because probably you're a Yoruba Muslim. Your allegiance is to the north. Yeah. Because the spiritual leader of every Muslim in Nigeria is the Sultan of Sokoto.
Yeah, of course.
These are the dynamics you need to understand within the zoo for you to appreciate how hopeless some people are. Therefore, it does not matter if you're a militant guiding pipeline in the south. It doesn't matter if you're from a Loren or from Kwara. It doesn't matter if you're one of those people that their village or their land was forcibly appropriated to make way for Fulani settlement in Ebonyi. Once you are a Muslim, you are answerable to the Sultan of Sokoto as your leader. Do you understand it?
Yes.
Do you now see why a sizable number of Yoruba people will always misbehave? Because they get their orders from the Sultan. These are the things that most people do not understand. Whereas you have some Yoruba people who are sensible, who are trying to do the best they can to liberate the Yoruba race. You have other people who are far more interested in maintaining their religious brotherhood by pledging their allegiance and, of course, keeping it to the Sultan of Sokoto. Do you now understand what is happening? Do you now see why there is need for us to make haste immediately to ensure that Biafra is restored? And the role that you all need to play in it. Not by wasting our time and opening banks and doing things that no one asks you to do. Things that are irrelevant. And I'm asking, how many of you here have spoken to your congressman or senator about what we're passing through back home?
I did.
Only 4 people in this back room.
I'm trying to go to Senator Bahari.
You should try and do that.
Yes.
There will be a program we are rolling out. That very effort will be managed by our deputy, Mazi, to ensure that wherever we are in the USA, that we make contact, regular contact with our delegation to Capitol Hill, by which I mean senators and congressmen. Absolutely vital, very key in this very effort. You may see it as nothing, but it is huge.
Yes.
I assure you. They will listen to you more than they listen to me. They are now coming from the UK. I'm never ever going to vote for them. They know that very well. That you are the ones that vote for them. And your vote will always count. And there's one thing about Western politicians, they don't play with their constituents.
Never.
They don't mess with
They don't
voters.
miss that.
Some of you here can do more work than we are doing. Not by going back and hatching a scheme that is irrelevant. Despite the fact that some of this may be under oath. You know, in this very effort we are making, I said before that this race to restore Biafra is a divine project. And the same way the zoo are busy pursuing us all over Washington, D.C., is how Lucifer is pursuing some people as well. Within our view. Of course. Lucifer, if you are not strong spiritually, you will fall victim to the machinations of darkness. No. You can no longer defend your stance or the stance you took a couple of weeks or a couple of months back. We should do all we can to ensure that such spirit never ever possesses us or goes into us. Danjuma said that people are scared of this regime with his own mouth. Because they understand the mess everybody is in. And to those of them that talk about South, Niger, Delta, Bendel, and God knows what else. When the North speak, when Fulani is talking, they say the North. When Middle Belt tries to revolt or to rise up to assert their identity, they say no, they are rebelling against them. But they are the same people that came and told that this is Niger Delta, this is now South, this is Bendel, this is Midwest. If you try to do something where they come from, they say no. Some of you don't know that when they talk about the North, that includes the 3 Igbo local governments in Benue State. Are you aware of that? Yeah. So you have Igbo people who are part of the North. Are we aware of that at all?
Yes. No, yeah.
Are we aware of that at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Danjuma is saying it. And they are speaking up, and now I believe that the zoo is about to crumble if they can hold their nerve. And when we say that we want Nigeria to come to an end, not the people who are living in Nigeria, not the various ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, no. We want the name, that edifice, to come to an end. Should the people wish to come together to be under one nation or under one country, it is their prerogative to decide. This is something that neo-colonialists don't want us to be saying. That in Europe and elsewhere around the world, they see what they have created, this thing that they have done in Africa, as something that, that they did us a favor. You don't know that? That's what they say. Oh, we don't want anything that will disrupt the colonial boundaries. I keep asking them, but Scotland can go, yes? Yes, Scotland can go if they want to. But why can't Biafrans go? No, because we don't want to disrupt the boundaries.
Wicked clan.
Some of you don't know the battles we are facing. Some people go on social media and they write, oh, give us Biafra, please. As if it's easy. It's never easy.
Never.
And the work that Ipob is doing now has never been done before, ever, in our history.
Truth.
Do you know that after the war, according to Irish records, in Ireland, which am I? They say it's 5 million. I keep saying 3.6 million. The Irish newspaper published. I said it's actually 5 million people that died. Yes. 5 million dead. There was Ohaneze in 1976 after the war, so to speak. There were no group of people that came together to say that what happened to us is wrong. Let's try and correct it. Everybody jumped into the wagon of one Nigerian. If they had insisted, at least for a public commission of inquiry, some kind of hearing, what is happening today would not happen. But because the Fulani succeeded in committing Holocaust and they got away with scot-free, they got away with it. That is what is emboldening them to set up their checkpoints. That is why if they slap you and you slap back, they kill you. That is why when we come out to protest, they shoot us. Because they were not held to account before. And those that want to be called leaders failed in their duty as leaders then and are still failing till this very day.
Yes, it's true.
Armenians in America, again. You know Armenia?
Yes.
Have you heard about the Armenian genocide?
Yes.
Have you heard about it before?
Yeah.
1921.
19 again.
1921.
Armenian genocide was recognized here by Congress.
It's true.
When? A few days ago. Because Armenians in America said if we don't do anything now, the Turkish government can come tomorrow and even kill more people. So when you bring your suffering to light, you're putting the perpetrators on notice that the world is aware of what you did before. So if you start again, they will hold you responsible. But we have not done it. I don't live in America. I said it from the beginning, those who started with us from initially. 2 sets of people will get us Biafra. 2 sets of people. Or 2 things will need to happen, sorry. 2 things will need to happen before Biafra will come. What are those things? The involvement of our women and the rising up of those of you in America. Only America, only one ever can give us Biafra, quietly and peacefully. Are you doubting me? No.
We do it. We must.
Everybody. I keep saying this all the time. The Somalis that came yesterday, are they more than us in number in America?
No, sir.
Let's be honest. Are they more in number than us?
They are less than 10,000.
But they're organized.
Yes.
They are organized. I wish for once we can put ego, put our self-importance, put our very greedy nature behind and try to be fools, maybe for about 6 months. We've been doing something, we've been wise all these years, we've accomplished nothing. Let's try to be foolish a bit, just only 6 months. And you'll be shocked what we can achieve in America. That 6 months, no envy, no jealousy, no greed. Just do as you're told. For only 6 months, you will see what will achieve in America. Because our enemies are not relenting. And you know, plenty of them. There are those in Britain that believe that the coming of Biafra will signal the end of the war. Listen to me very carefully. Everything I tell you is gospel. It may sound very outlandish today, but tomorrow you'll be the one to write on Facebook. It's true. I heard it before. There are those that believe that Biafra, of course, is true anyway, that Biafra is the light of Africa. When you meet them during our normal routine meetings with them, they will never tell you that. They know you more than you know yourselves. They know we are industrious. They know we are blessed. They know we are hardworking. They know that engineers are born from our mother's womb. They know that very well. It is their responsibility to stop you from emerging. So you have more enemies than you can ever dream of. But every power on this very earth belongs to God in heaven. Yes. And as I pray all the time, do you know why we are successful most times? Because when I go down on my knees to pray to Chukwukika Abiyama, I say to him, are you not telling me that you love the Fulanis more than you love your children? And within 2 or 3 days, things will begin to happen. Amen. There is always confusion in their camp. Whose phone is that? Unbelievable. Put your phone on mute. They will say put your phones on mute. Put it on silent. Try and put your phones on silent. Yes. It's distracting. Distracting. So now that the Middle Belt have realized, let me tell you what Danjuma said, which is what I have been saying on Radio Biafra from day one. In Yoruba land, everybody seems to have lost their voice. They are scared, and people appear not to care about what is happening. They don't care. And now everybody is being consumed. The Fulanis cannot come and take the East without, and leave the West alone. It's not possible. And they have the numbers to do so. They have opened their borders. Your own borders are closed, but theirs are open. You get up the next day and you say, I'm in Nigeria. You are helping Abba Kyari and the Fulani cabal, the Janjaweed, the Caliphate, to fulfill their mission and their goal without you knowing it. Every day you wake up and you say, I am a Nigerian, you are advancing the Fulani cause. The only thing that drives them away, both physically and in the spirit, is the name Biafra. Once you mention Biafra,
spirit. Always. Spirit.
Danjuma said, if you want the details of what is happening in Nigeria, I'll give it to you privately. But I, Nnamdi, can I give you mine in public? Yes. In public. That's what he said. He said it here. If I tell you what is happening in Nigeria today, you will no longer sleep. He went on to say, sir, so Chief Ayo Adebanjo's warning and advice is very timely. If you want details, I will give it to you privately.
You know, at the age of 80.
Somebody said, what is he afraid of? And I said, because he is not a Biafran. Yeah. Only Biafrans speak the truth and damn the consequences.
It's true.
Only us. No other set of people. And this is something we all need to understand. The same isolate and kill they employed when they killed Sarawiwa, they used to kill Adakaboro before him. They will continue to use to kill us, to divide, to kill, to eliminate.
That's the only thing they know.
Once you're vulnerable, they pick you up. And you're gone. Despite all the years of service and servitude to them, all ignored. I remember now, I even remember when we were small. You know, when you were born, did I give you goat or chicken? Isn't it?
Yeah, right.
As a child.
Yes.
And you grew up with that chicken. You're feeding it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Don't you know the chicken?
Olulu now.
Olulu.
I said you would have got cooked.
Yeah, now.
Yes. Are you all listening? You come back from school, you drop your school bag, the first thing you want to do. Do you know the funniest thing?
By Christmas.
One Easter or one Christmas or New Year festival, your mom will ask you to go and bring that same chicken and kill it. Some of us turn to emergency vegetarian after that. Because we can't believe it's that lovely chicken. That's in the stew now.
No way.
That is our life with the Fulanis in the zoo. They are looking. I have a Fulani friend. I'm sure. Onyema. When I preached to him and told him that they're wasting their time, they said, no, I have a friend. I have one of my friends in Sokoto. One of my friends in Kanu. One of my friends in Meduguri. But talk about it. Did none of his friends come? No. Did they come? No. They came to Ipob to do something about it. That is your lot with the Fulanis in the zoo. They pretend they love you, they pretend they like you, but they despise you.
Always.
And it is a good thing now that the Yorubas are beginning to realize that they themselves are not immune to what the Fulanis are doing. You say you are a Nigerian. The Yoruba Fulani servant will say they love you. They will say, oh, why are you asking for Biafra? That's what they will ask you on social media. Oh, I grew up with Adeyemi. We all grew up in Lagos. I'm against Biafra. I don't want this your Biafra thing. This your Biafra of a thing. I want to get the right word. That's your Biafra of a thing. That's your Biafra. Have you asked yourself this question before? Why is it that no seaport is working? Have you ever asked yourself that question before? Have you asked yourself that question before? Yes. Why is Iguacha Seaport not working? Why is Calabar not working? Why is Warren not working? Have you asked yourself that question before? Before you decide to be a good Nigerian, have you asked yourself why you have no international airport? On my way here, we drove past BWI, is that correct? Yes. International airport. Is that correct?
DC.
There is Dallas as well.
DC. Dallas. DC too.
There's even the Reagan one. In a very small area, so to speak.
Local one.
3 international airports. Ask yourself that is claiming you're a Nigerian. I'm Igbo. I have Yoruba friends. I have Hausa friends. And we play together. We go to club together. How many international airports do you have? And how many do they have?
They're not.
When we say what we say, people accuse us of hatred. Oh, you hate people. You know, that is a lie. We want everybody to be free. There is no justification for Yoruba to collude with the North, with Fulani, to suffer us, to kill, to impoverish us, to put us in so much agony and so much pain. The hold-up yesterday is from Head Bridge on the Jatuore. Did you see the videos? Hold up. And I keep asking myself, we have more people in the US than any other ethnic group. Is that, am I wrong?
That's right.
Why must you keep quiet when such a thing is happening to your people? Do you think that the love of your people is by wearing Isiago and going to a function on a Saturday? That doesn't mean you love your people.
Never.
It doesn't mean that at all.
Never.
It means you're a greedy, gluttonous fool.
Forever.
The only time you identify with your people, albeit so cowardly, is when there is rice or chicken and the offense are involved. And drink. The way you treat your people. If those we are meeting here in America were to treat us that way, do you think that Biafra will come? No. We get better treatment from foreigners and the ultra wise people more than our own. The way things are back home, are you happy? No. Are you happy?
No.
No.
Anybody who lives in America and you have children, you say Biafra will not come. Your children cannot follow you home. Your name will die in America. If you are in America and you say no to Biafra, you say no to Ipob, you see what is happening and you keep quiet, you will lose your children in America. Amen. They will marry white people here. They will marry Hispanics here. Your name will die in this very place.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, man.
Let me ask you this. Do you think we are doing what we are doing to be what? Huh? No. Why do you think we are doing? Let's be honest with ourselves. Why do you think I'm doing what I'm doing?
Love of country. Love of your people.
Love of your people.
Let me say it one more time. I am not leading Ipob to become the president of Biafra. I will not be, no matter what. I am not doing it so I will get contract or land
Or influence.
or influence.
Whatever.
As I told them yesterday, once Biafra comes, I will go to a place called Iyojitan in my village. I will build a house and I'll build a ditch around it. I fill it with water and I'll put crocodiles inside. Because serving people is not easy. It's the most difficult job in the world. Yes. I see Trump sweating sometimes what they're doing. I keep saying to myself, I wish Trump can come and head one group alone in Biafra land.
I say how.
I'm sure our coordinators are here, they can testify, isn't it? Our coordinators are here, isn't it? Sometimes I want my name. But all the same, we love our people because they're very unique. A very special breed. Yes. In spite of all the, I wouldn't call it disappointment, in spite of all the challenges, I think that's a better word, we're encountering. There are people in prison right now. People have sacrificed themselves for this very effort. 28 died in my house that I may live. Because of them, we march on. And because of them, Biafra will come. I have no doubt. And our message to all those who are unfortunate enough to find themselves in the zoo, courtesy of the British, the mission of Ipob is to set everybody free. We are not going to come to your land to ask you what is in your land. No. Instead, we'll give you the ones we have. Yes. And I want to repeat on record, that every part of the zoo will receive abundant oil and gas to do with as they please. Anybody telling you that we are fighting for Biafra because of oil and gas, never. You know that person is very, very stupid. Forever. And wicked. And wicked. It is in our interest as Biafrans to make sure that Yoruba has oil and gas in abundance to grow their economy. Yes. Fulani the same. You need to understand what economic growth is all about. I will even go as far as all of West Africa. For the simple reason that it is in our interest that they are also developed. In our interest. I've said it before. Yes. I think America is about to sign the NAFTA. Is it the new revised NAFTA?
Yeah, by Trump.
Have they signed it?
No, not yet.
You have passed it.
It is in the interest of America that Canada is doing well.
Yeah, Canada.
That Mexico is doing well. If Mexico is doing well, do you think they will cross over the border to come in here? If we don't help to grow the economies of Oduduwa,
Of our neighbors,
so to speak, then the influx will be unsustainable.
Yes, it's true.
And we don't want that.
We don't want that.
We don't. Not at all. Therefore, everything we preach, everything you hear, this effort to restore Biafra is the responsibility of every man, woman, and child in the USA. The state of Israel was born here.
Yes.
Albania was born here. Kosovo was born here.
Yep.
Even Eritrea was born here.
It's true.
They don't even hide it. Southern Sudan was born here.
So that's that.
They say that those with Abraham as father don't go to hell. Is that correct? We have all of you in America. Why should I come to Capitol Hill and be struggling all the time to convince your own congressman or woman or senator when you're there already? And it won't cost you anything. And they'll even listen to you more than they listen to you. These are the assets we have that the zoo cannot stop. Your congressman is not going to give your name to DSS back home. Of course not. You can make phone calls. You can follow them on Twitter. You can tweet, can't you?
Yes.
Don't tweet them, just tweet your local, even your mayor, and say this is what is happening in my land. We need to bring the issue of Biafra to the streets of America.
They have already sent us Christmas greetings. Most senators.
Very good. These are the things, because you are the ones voting for them.
Yes.
These are the things you need to understand. I don't know how to say it sometimes for us to begin to appreciate the enormity of this very task and the need for those of you in America to rise up and do the needful. Do what you're supposed to do. We are marching next year in July, is that correct?
Yes.
If you have not taken your holidays, if you've not booked that July again,
Third, yeah.
no, I think they said no. That we cannot.
On the eve of
July 20th.
okay, after their independence, okay, which is good.
July 20th.
Everybody will be back.
June 20th. Yes. They brought it forward to June. Sorry, June 20th. Okay. They've changed from July now to June. You know, we are tenants. Is anything the landlord says?
The flag will come out.
Okay.
The flag will be out very soon.
Right.
Now, July 20th. June.
June 20th.
I'm here July and I'm listening. June 20th. June 20th. Yes.
2020.
Go and get all your children and your grandchildren out of school on that very day. Or is it holiday period or is it school period?
Yeah, so their school is about to close. Yeah, which is elementary school.
Elementary school.
Yeah, and the high school. Yeah.
We need all our children in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
I'm going to be on Saturday.
For this very match. Everybody must come.
I can show her number.
Everybody must come to let the world know how big we are here.
Educated population.
Once we do it, they'll start looking for us. Yes. We're not going to look for them. They'll come to us.
No, game of numbers.
Because we have the numbers. And we can make a difference. It is about time that we begin to reason, as I said. The next 6 months of 2020, I'm begging all of you, those who are here and those all over the world, we have been doing our sense for many years.
More than 80 years.
It got us nowhere. I am begging Biafrans all over the world to try to be stupid for the first 6 months of next year.
Yes.
And you see what we'll achieve together as a people.
Yes.
The only people now stopping the Janjaweed from their march to the south is IPOB. Are you in doubt? No. Are you in doubt? No. Chairman, Andy, I'm here. They don't know what is happening back home. We are everywhere. We own the land. The land belongs to us. And there is nothing Alamati can do about it. That land is our choice. And they can never come in. And I have not told you, also as a result of the moves we are making in Washington, telling them what the army is doing, I also got the information today that the Nigerian army have decided to pull out of Biafra land. And this is the occupied. Some of you don't understand what diplomacy is. When you meet a congressman or a congresswoman and you're telling them these are your problems, they may say to your face, I'm not interested, they stay go and resolve it. But because they are, they have conscience. When they go back, they think about it, and they see there is merit in what you're saying. And then they act upon it.
Yes.
They may not tell you. This country is here to serve a purpose.
Yes.
And we built this country. Yes. As I tell them.
Yep.
America is strong today all over the world because they received 200 years of free labor. Is that correct or not? Right. You know, I speak the truth. Even when I went to China, I also speak the truth.
Of course,
those 200 years of free labor came from our ancestors. Yes. Is that true or false? True. So we must take advantage of our situation here to help our land. Very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. The Zoo Army said that they have no security challenges in the east. But all the same, they have to stay there because of IPOB. And as I keep saying, every generation that will come after us, even their children and children's children, they will remember IPOB.
Yes.
It's not going anywhere.
Oh, forever foundation.
Yes.
Sani said to Danjuma, let Nigeria burn and be free instead of hiding the truth. So those who were scared to speak out before, they are now speaking. Because we sacrificed a lot of lives. This same IPOB remained very resolute.
Yes.
That is why those with a little courage are now coming out to say what previously they were afraid of saying. And he went on to say, he was a former senator, to say Nigeria is sitting on many fault lines is an understatement. The difference between IPOB and any other group, any other nationality, any other ethnic group is that we say something, we stand on that very thing that we're saying, and we do something about it.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest.
Yes.
Unlike the rest. And that is why we remain ever so formidable.
Yes.
My happiness today is that right across Biafra land, I said across the whole of Biafra land, everywhere is reverberating and resonating to the message that IPOB is issuing to us. IPOB in Lebanon, of all places, Lebanon, is entirely made up of our brethren from Efik.
Awesome. Wow.
And they don't. I don't want you to think that IPOB is an Igbo affair or restricted across the Niger. Everybody wants to be a part of it because they have seen the light, they have seen the truth. Yes. That what we have been saying is the truth. We are not against anybody. We are not asking to take your land, to take nothing at all, but for everybody to be free to decide what they want to do with their lives.
Yes. Simple.
That is why today they reference us. And no fences will be. Are they going to mend any fence? The zoo? What's their name? I don't want to mention their name. Those that work for Anger of the Life. The people that issue them fit notice. All those who go eating. Do you know what they said? Let me see if I can find it, because anytime I do news analysis, I always use what they say. I always use what comes out of their mouth. Do you know what the Al-Majri boy said? He said that they should go and do that the zoo should incorporate referendum in the constitution. Did anybody read that very news? No, you didn't. I will find it. Uche, did I send it to you? I'm going to find it. That was what they said. That they want. I have it with me. I have it with me. Somebody sent it to me on my way here. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Because these are the things that we are doing that some of you do not know is resonating within the zoo. The person actually said, and many good news on my way here, to be honest with you. Even the Wall Street Journal have written about what the Fulanis are doing. Is here. Wall Street, of course, on my way here was sent to me. So that the work we are doing on Capitol Hill is yielding a lot of results. Of course it is. Of course it is. I want to find it for you so you can read it. It's from the Nation newspaper. Nation newspaper. Not Tinubu. Al-Majri Nako. Al-Majri, those Al-Majri kids. Northern group. 6, inclusion of referendum in constitutional amendment.
Yes. Wow. That's what I heard.
And they gave reason as to why. Nation, go and look for Nation newspaper. Kenyan network here. Nation newspaper, please look for it. Northern group. Seek for referendum to be included in the constitution amendment. Look for it and find it for me. If you find it, you and they said it is because of IPOB. Find it for me. For those of you that thought that what we are doing was meaningless, that is confirmation. Look here, have you seen it? Has anyone seen it? We never network in America.
The creator of network, the creator of communication.
Find it for me, please. It's on Nation newspaper.
The communication inventor.
It's okay, just
Nigerian Nation newspaper.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Have you found it? You found it.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Northern Group 6, inclusion of referendum in constitutional amendment.
Everybody can vote on both.
They are now urging the National Assembly to, without further delay, because they know we are destroying the zoo, without further delay, commence the amendment of the Constitution with the primary aim of inserting the referendum clause in the Constitution that will pave the way for the restructuring of the country. They also went on to say that they are now faulting the failure of previous administrations for failing to include referendum in the Constitution. Listen, which would have guaranteed member ethnic nations for the very first time. They are acknowledging that the zoo is made up of ethnic nations. Their right to self-determination. According to this Al-Majri that was saying this, if this clause had been in the Constitution, the country would have been saved. Listen to the grammar. The country would have been saved the violent effects of agitation by militant ethnic groups in the country, such as IPOB. And I told you before that after dealing with them, they will beg us to take our Biafra and go. I told you, after dealing with them, they will say, take this your Biafra and go. If the Fulani are wise, if they are sensible, they will give us referendum tomorrow morning. Yes. Or else we will destroy the Fulani image all over the world. Yes. That they will be worth nothing.
Yeah, it's almost done. They have been exposed. Everybody is exposed already.
They will be worth nothing. They are playing with us. They don't know how determined we are. They don't understand how focused we are. They don't understand what we are prepared to sacrifice for Biafra. They underestimated us. And it's a good thing they did.
Yes. Oh, good. Very good.
If they knew how serious we were, I'm sure when I was arrested, they would have killed me or shot me.
Yeah. And damn it.
Now they know. Now they know we are Biafrans. Now they know there is no going back. Now they understand how serious we are. The Yorubas can choose to be slaves in Nigeria. The Biafrans will never be slaves.
Never.
They can't put us in the bag.
Never.
They have lost their voice, but we have not lost ours.
Yes.
We will continue to speak. Yes. I also have a message for all component ethnic groups in Biafra land. Those that they will give peanuts to and tell you, oh, don't worry, we'll clean your village for you.
Strategy for you.
Those that will go to, because that's what they do all the time.
Always.
I call it the warrant chief methodology. You know, we had no, forget all this as a thing yourself, you know, we had none before.
Of course.
Do you know that? When somebody says, my father is the traditional ruler or the Eze or the king, there is no king in our land.
Never.
These are warrant chiefs imposed on us by the British.
Their strategy.
And that is what the Fulanis are doing now. They determine who your leaders should be. I said it before, some people didn't quite understand. You see that Emeka for that's it. Yes. We are going to set an example with him. They were the first set of people. When the Fulanis came into our land, when they came into Oka and beyond during the war, their aim, according to Murtala Mohammed from his mouth, their aim was to kill everybody. Every male child up to the age of 10 to 12. Then convert them to Islam. Appoint them to be the leaders of our community. When that very plan failed, they used one or two people to go and form Ohaneze. I keep saying it all the time. Because I may call a meeting now of a few people together to start something. But you wouldn't know what I have in mind. You wouldn't know who sent me. Some of our people here in the USA, a governor will come and give them some money. Say, call your friends. And they call their friends. And they start one thing or the other. Isn't that correct? Isn't that correct? That was what happened to Ohaneze.
Or strategy.
And Ohaneze became a tool at the hands of the Fulani Caliphate with which to destroy our edifice. Because Wodo was arguing with me that Ohaneze was formed by a notable Igbo man. And I said, you're talking...
I said, a clown of, falsehood.
If they were formed, imagine that somebody with my type of outlook, or should I say the outlook of IPOB, we have to be in charge of Ohaneze. Do you think 3 Igbo local governments will be in Benue State?
No.
No. Do you think Ebama will be divided into 3?
No.
Do you think Obi will be outside the land? There's a place called Ejagam in Cross River State. Have you heard of that? Ejagam.
Which is Ejagam?
Ejagam. Do you know there are Igbo communities in Cross River State?
Yes.
Are you aware? They cut you and put you. When Alamajiri wants to draw the map of the zoo, they put one tiny dot. That's what they're doing in DC. They come to the office of the senator. They show one tiny red dot in a green landmass and say, oh, these people doing all this. They're only there. They're not even the majority of the people. That is why I say to our people, Inefi Kibibio, Anna, Eket, Oron, the job people. I'm very glad that we are now beginning to wake up in about the world. That if we don't bind together, as the Yorubas have now realized, that they need to work with IPOB in order to stop this influx of Satan. If you don't work with us, all of us together as one family, this great IPOB, we will be overrun by the Fulani Caliphate. The Fulani themselves they have never fought any war before.
Never.
People always fight their wars for them.
That's right.
Are you listening to me? Yes. Fulani gets you to do their dirty work for them. Fulani did not defeat the Hausa. Never. Fulani convinced the Hausa to fight themselves.
Yep.
During the war, Fulani convinced T.Y. Danjuma and the Middle Belt to fight Biafrans. The entire infantry corps of the Nigerian army was made up of people from the Middle Belt.
Yes, 75%. 75.
But they are in Sokoto, calling the shots, saying, oh, we are one Nigeria. We North. What happened to the North? And I said to the North, if you were together and won, how come you started with only 13 states of Sharia? Why not the rest? Do you people know that the Baggy people, where Babangida or Babangida's mom comes from, they are agitating for their own recognition in the zoo? Those that own Abuja, are you aware of that? They call them Gware, their name is Baggy, but because in Hausa language they cannot, because of the syntax, they cannot pronounce Baggy. That's why they call them Gware. Yes. They cannot, somebody that speaks Hausa cannot pronounce Baggy. They cannot. Go and try. It's just like asking them to pronounce president. These are historical facts in the zoo. Today they are fighting to be free. And I want to encourage every group in the Middle Belt. I want to encourage everybody, every ethnic group in the zoo to rise up against this impending doom and disaster. Or else we'll all be consumed. And what happened to Hausa people will happen to all of us. By the time you know it is too late.
God forbid.
God forbid. Do you think the left will help you abroad?
No, of course not.
You think they'll help you?
No,
Never.
no.
That is why we need to work very hard to ensure that Biafra is restored in our time.
Yes.
Others may fall apart, but this very IPOB will never ever fall apart. Never ever ever. I have told you this story before, but I will repeat the same story tonight. I will keep saying it until it filters into our skull. Fulani people are migrants. They are not aborigine, they are not original. Sokoto. Listen very carefully. They are not original to Sokoto. Sokoto is Gobe, not Sokoto. The real name is Gobe, not Sokoto. I repeat. Fulanis, they came. The stupidity of the average Hausa person is the reason why we are in the mess we are in today. Understand this very well. If you understand the mindset and the approach of the Fulani, you'll be able to defeat them. Yes. We in IPOB, we know. And that is why we are defeating them.
Yes.
They came into Sokoto with their cattle, as usual. That happened in 1754. In 1754, they came into Gobert, pretending they have come. You know what they started saying? Oh, we have come to fight corruption. From Senegal. All the way from Senegal. The same way today in Abia State they are fighting corruption. And they said to the Hausa people that we actually Muslims before these vandals came. That the version of Islam you're practicing is idolatrous. It's not consistent with the teachings of what we now know today to be the Wahhabi sect. That we need to change them. They employed Othman Danfodio as an ordinary teacher. A teacher to teach the children of the king, who was then in Katsina. Are you following me? Yes. Like those who are opening banks. You came to my house, I cooked for you, I presented it. I called you to come and eat in my house. And you're not telling me that the way I'm shuffling the rice is not good, though. But it's my rice, I cooked it. And I invited you. They told the Hausa people that their kings were corrupt. Yes, and I was back home. You did not ask the person telling you that your kings were corrupt what his motives were. And funny enough, can you turn off your phone? Please turn off your phones if you can. And put it on silent. Vibrate if you may, please. Please. And in 1804, he managed to convince the Hausa peasants that the thing stopping them is corruption. That they have to fight this war against corruption. And they started war against corruption. The Hausas foolishly fought war against corruption against their own people and overthrew their kings. And the Fulanis replaced them as their emirs. As the Fulanis, listen to this very carefully. It has a very funny history. As the Fulanis conquered the Hausa people, the Hausa helped them to conquer the Wagi people. Yes. You know the Hausa people, they have, is it 14 families they have, isn't it? The 7 bastards and the 7 legitimate children. And Bokoi and Banza, isn't it? They helped them to conquer everybody. Now the Hausas help to conquer the Wagi people, who help to conquer everybody else, the thieves, everybody, all the way to Idoma. That today some Idoma people are Muslims. Are you aware of that? Yeah. They conquered them. One innocuous Fulani plan to conquer the Hausa people ended up at the confluence of River Niger and River Benue in Kogiland. They started moving towards the east. When they got to Medugri, the Sheikh of Borno told them, no, that's here. There is Islam here already. Please go back. That was why Borno remained untainted for a very long time. As they conquered the Hausas and the ethnicities of the Middle Belt, they now descended on the Yoruba people. They conquered the Yoruba people. That is why there are Muslims in Yoruba land. Not just in all the way to Lagos Island.
80% of Muslims are Yorubas.
They came to Biafra land. As you know they would. They came to Biafra. What happened to them?
They died, I think 1677.
They died.
Yeah, Sister Flag killed them.
Sister Fly killed all of them.
1677.
Ordinary Sister Fly.
Some Arabs.
For those who don't believe in God in heaven,
1677.
because there was need for God in heaven to preserve his children.
Always. Yes. Biafrans. Truth and nothing but truth.
And they died on the plains of Benue.
97% of them died.
And they were very, very upset about it.
97%.
And Othman Danfodio swore that they would dip the Quran in the Atlantic. And the only person that they felt could do that in modern times was Muhammad Buhari. Yes, that's their mission. To bring Islam into our land, to conquer all of the people. Because we are very proud people, we are blessed people.
Yes.
That is why they are doing all they can to subdue and to subjugate you. So anytime you foolishly say to yourself, I am a Nigerian, you are advancing the Fulani agenda
Yes.
in your life. Not just in your own life. Anytime you rise up in America and you say, I am a Nigerian, you are responsible for your children not going home.
Yeah.
You are responsible for the end of your lineage. Because we give birth to children and we name them Ahamefuna. If Biafra doesn't come, Ahunu gave in America. I'm telling you.
God forbid. The
only thing that can bring your name back to the village, because the best days of our lives we spend abroad, isn't it? When we are dead, they take us back. When we are useless to our community, that's when they take us back. I need you to understand this very, very clearly. Americans are in America developing America. Is that correct? Yes. Europeans are in Europe developing Europe. Yes. Only when they are expatriates. Even now, we've taken South Africa from them. They're now even returning back to Europe, some of them. How do you think that you can live in America, grow your family in America, and where you come from will be developed? How is that possible? Oh, some of you think that if you make your money in America and you go back home and you build a story building, somehow you've done something.
Oh no.
Is that an achievement?
No. Never.
You built a house where you will live, I think it's an achievement.
No.
Huh?
No,
What contribution are you making towards the advancement of the lives of other people?
No library, no hospital.
No library, no hospital.
No road.
Nothing.
No road to the house.
Search.
Do you see why we need Biafra? Yes. And do you see why you need Biafra more than Biafra needs you?
Yes. Forever there.
Because it sounds very perverse, but it's true.
The foundation.
Biafra is actually a selfish enterprise. If you don't own Biafra as your own property, as your own thing, I'm doing it for myself, you fall by the wayside.
Always.
You can't do Biafra for Nnamdi, Kanu, or for whoever is not
never.
You're doing it for yourself. Because in this Biafra, that is what will guarantee the continuity of your name. Yes. The development of where you come from. The pride you will feel as a free person. All this race, are you not tired of it? Yeah? Go but I say black and white, black and every place.
365 days.
Are you not tired? Are you not tired staying in the place where you are? You can never ever fulfill your life potential. Are you not tired?
We are tired.
Maybe some people enjoy being slaves, but I don't. I don't enjoy it.
Never.
And can never enjoy it.
House boy.
Outside. After doing your slave labor outside, you come back to your land, and Fulani Janjaweed is lording it over you, and you accept that?
No.
Huh? People who are illiterate.
You go to school.
I'm wicked.
Stark illiterate.
You go to school.
Uneducatable.
Never.
Impossible to educate. No matter how much you educate them. Alamaji will be Alamaji.
Forever. For another 4.5 billion years. That's what they are. Their culture.
I will keep asking the same questions that I ask all the time. Can you show me one Fulani poet?
Never.
No.
Never.
Scientists.
Nothing.
Can you show me one Fulani scientist?
No.
Do we have any Fulani scientists?
No.
How come they cannot do anything right? I have never met a Fulani doctor before. I will ask again. Where have you met a Fulani doctor?
No,
I didn't say Hausa doctor.
I haven't seen them.
Have you met them before? Have you seen them before? How come they cannot be a doctor? They are not pharmacists. But they are good enough to be the president of the country. And you expect to be developed. Is that possible?
No, it's not.
Sometimes I ask myself, what type of planet are people living on? People who are blessed, people who are industrious, people who are hard work. They are not qualified to be president. It is those in the national who cannot be president. Do you see how people reason in the zoo? People who are nomadic are now qualified to hold the highest office in the land. Those who are educated are in America, doing irrelevant jobs. And you're telling me that all is well in Nigeria. You're telling me that to be a proud Nigerian. Who is a proud Nigerian here? Who is a proud Nigerian here?
Nobody.
I want you to understand something. Very, very important. It is your responsibility. Biafra is yours. You must own it. If you're not aware of what is happening back home, I please urge you to acquaint yourselves with the atrocities going on back home. If you don't know already, you ought to know by now that our land is under occupation. You cannot come out as a free being to express or to exercise whatever right they claim they have given to you via their sham constitution. That is why Biafra is going to come. And that is why nobody can ever stop it from us. Therefore, as we are gathered here today, I must make it very, very clear that Biafra belongs to each and every one of us.
Yes.
IPOB is our own thing. It belongs to everybody.
Yes.
It belongs to everybody. And try to always resist the temptation, because the devil will come. I assure you. Try always to resist the temptation of the devil speaking through you, of always finding fault and not being able to do things the right way. IPOB is a family under one command structure. Only one, not two, not three, not four. Once you're under oath, you have sworn to abide by the structures of IPOB, not your own. I am fond of when people come to see me privately, we discuss one or two things that, we have in mind or what we are doing. And I've noticed that each time I do that, some people go out and try to implement that very thing that I've said we ought to do. And that is a very serious disease. We are not in any competition with anybody. All we want is Biafra. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Had Owazirike behaved himself, they would have done it for IPOB. I have said it many times. Had they been consistent, truthful and transparent, they would have done it for IPOB. I don't want our people to think that somehow we are in some sort of a race between each other. Our race is against Awusa, Fulani, not Awusa. I keep saying Awusa Fulani sometimes. if we tell you what we have in mind to do, unless there is an order to go and implement that very thing, you are not allowed, you are not at liberty to implement it. I said, whatever thing you can do to ensure that Biafra is restored. It doesn't mean you should take an idea that belongs to DOS, you were privy to, and try to implement it yourself. When your mom says to you after school, oh, go into the kitchen, there's a pot of soup there, take some and eat. She's not asking you to go and empty all the meat and the fish inside the soup. You're supposed to have common sense. Is that correct or not?
Truth.
We have a problem, which may be we are going to have a day of prayer and fasting. Every evil spirit to leave us alone. I'm telling you the truth. Because our enemies always come together to fight us. We must always band together to repel them.
Yes. Forever, yes.
Unless you're asked to do something, don't do it. Go and get people, preach this very gospel to those around you. Go to your workplace, contact your senators and your House of Reps members. Take this very word of Biafra to them. The materials you will send to them, we will circulate to you. That's what we want you to do. Not to go and start opening a bank. That's not what I asked you to do. Because if you try that, the name of Biafra has now entered their records. When we now come up with our plan for the bank, that the corporate bank wanted to float, it was very, very difficult for us to carry that through. We wanted to float a corporate bank, not banking for everybody, for a reason. Why you need such a bank? We lost the war because we couldn't get weapons in. Are you aware of that? That was why we lost the war. Our fathers were playing about with sticks, pretending it's a gun. They go into battlefield with nothing. It's only those that can kill on the enemy side. They take their guns, isn't it? Do you think Fulani can defeat us in a war?
No, not possible.
No. Even if we are blindfolded.
They're not strategic.
We had no guns. We had no guns during the war because there was the lines of credit open to us. I'm saying this now because they have ruined it, what we wanted to do. Those idiots, they have ruined it. And those of you they were able to speak to. But because you lack discipline, some of you, you listen to nonsense. Ask the person, was this your idea in the first place? We are fighting Fulani in Ebonyi State. Did I ask you to go and fight them? I'm telling you, we are fighting them. This is what we are doing. Did I ask you to go to war front?
No.
We have men who are doing that. It's not your job. Your job is to go out to evangelize, to provide help, to provide funding for the work they're doing on the ground. I didn't ask you to go and fight. Or because IPOB volunteers are in fighting. You go and open your own in Anambra. That shows lack of discipline. It goes to show that you don't understand. If we take that mentality into a war, we'll lose.
Big time.
That was why Ojukwu gave money from his own pocket, his father's money. Go and buy weapons. Some people ate the money. I ran away. Am I speaking the truth or not?
Yes. Truth. Yes.
That is the same thing here. When you're given a responsibility, when we say to you, hold this position, hold it and do the best you can. I didn't ask you to go and do something else. A lady went to Red Cross in London in 1968-69 to go and withdraw money to buy relief for starving, dying Biafran children. She was arrested by the British. And the Red Cross account frozen. The reason why we needed a bank was to make sure that every line of credit will be open. We can pay for equipment and it will be able to come in. We didn't open it so you can have Visa card and MasterCard. But now, also the bank and I video now going on. Giant bank. Can you imagine such ill discipline and stupidity? Something so secretive, now our enemies, they know. Now they know. Because they labeled as a terrorist group, we need source of funding that they cannot question. And as usual in our Facebook, some idiots are there busy laughing and typing and liking as if they are mentally deranged. My happiness is that they will never come home again. They will never come home again. Because men have died in this very effort.
Yes. So far they know.
As we speak.
Obere was starting for you and he was beheaded in Ipob. I'm sure you saw his blood. Fighting to save you so you can have land to go back to. Idiots are in America opening a bank as if they are foolish. That is why an organization as big as the World Igbo Congress could not make any iota of difference in our lives. As big as they are. With WIC here, why would Nnamdi Kanu come from the UK to come here to lobby your lawmakers? Why should I? You are the ones to do it and tell me what is happening here. That's right. What we ask you to you will not do. Ordinary $1. Do you know how much it costs to engage a lobbying firm in Washington, D.C.? I ask all of you, go and try and recruit one tomorrow. Can you quote? Ordinary $1 was a problem. $1 became a problem. Can't you afford $1? How can you come at your neighbor in a month? You can't afford $1?
Why not?
Because Fulani people are laughing at us. They are counting on that thing you have inside you. That destructive demonic spirit to question and to argue everything. That's what they're counting on. To colonize and enslave us.
Always.
When they speak, they say, we know you can never be united. We know. Only $1 only. Is it going to kill you?
No, never.
No $1. You're not an IPOB. You don't contribute. Later you ask us, when is this Biafra coming, sir?
That's how they do.
It's not funny now. It's not funny.
Others came here and they got something, including very recently in Tanzania. Because some of these people, they're the ones that will drive us away. They will say, oh, God brought you to bring Biafra. Biafra has now come, so you can go home and go and stay. Let technocrats in America come and run it. After all, I'm a manager with IBM or Google. Yeah. That's what you will say to us. And mark it down. This thing is going to happen. You will come from America to tell us that you are coming from you know how to do it. Yes. That we that suffered and died should get away and say that. Are you doubting me?
Yeah, no. That's what they're waiting for us. I know them.
We have the awareness.
Come and join us to make Biafra a possibility. Before it becomes the reality of our time. Because your participation is very, very key. Learn something from America. Everybody supported Washington, didn't they? Of course. Did they all support Washington? learn something. Learn something. The thing about it is that because we are very, you know, the whole world is listening. You know, people say don't wash your dirty linen in the public, but I wash my own in the motor park. You need to understand something. We are very competitive by nature. Isn't it? We love to compete. This person has built one-story building, I want to build two. It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. But that also predisposes us to destructive envy. Very destructive. We are not in IPOB, in this Biafra restoration project, we're not in a competition. But if you have a superior idea, you can bring it up. It's my job to listen to advice. I may not take your advice today, but I may see something tomorrow and decide to implement it. The fact that I'm not using your advice now doesn't mean I hate you or don't regard you or don't know what I'm doing. When we were advising the zoo, preaching to them, did they believe us? No. It's coward, not me. I didn't say anything. We need to understand this. That in Kiruka, what is ahead is bigger than what we are saying now. That Biafra belongs to you. It is your own. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to DS. It doesn't belong to IPOB. I know in a wider context, everybody is IPOB. Insofar as this movement is concerned all over the world, pushing and moving ahead, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to every single soul. And by the time we have run this race, only those who are worthy, it doesn't have to be us, will be eligible to serve Biafra.
Yes, of course.
We don't know who those people are going to be. You, the people, will decide. That is why I urge you this very evening from here and nighttime in Biafra land to do all you can to support our effort. A lot of things I cannot say on air will be coming your way. Just do it. It won't cost you anything. Just go and do it. That's what's going to happen. And some of you will think, instead of you to contribute your own $1 every month, you'll be thinking, how many are we in Baltimore? Somebody will tell you, oh, we hope to 2,000 in Baltimore. You say, hi, $1 times 2,000. But when Al-Majri comes to your village to kill people, you start calling IPOB. And the reason why we are asking you to contribute $1 every month is how it is done in the olden days. That is the only census we can have. That is how we know how many people who are with us. Do you understand me? Yeah. So the same way that we go to your Congress and they ask us how many Biafrans are living in the Maryland state, I can't tell them unless I call the coordinator and they tell me, so XYZ amount of people paid. They are wondering. That's how you identify and you say you're very serious. That is why in our land we don't point at people. Are you aware of that? You know why we don't point at people? And we don't count 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't do that. You say you don't know the reason why?
No, tell us.
You know, $1 first. When a woman gives birth, back home, you never ask a woman how many children have you got. Are you aware of that? Yes. It's a recent thing. Yes. Oh, how many kids do you have? We don't do it where we come from. You don't count them. I refer you to the book of Numbers. When you go and read it, you'll be able to understand. Right. The fact is that you identify yourself or you are counted based on what you can do. I've told this joke before. It's from Mbisa. It's an Mbisa joke.
Okay.
And it ties into this $1 thing. I'm out of time.
I want to announce something. All those people that park at the other side, please, the owners are ordering that we have to park across.
Please park across the road.
Please, park
On the street?
Please. If you're parked at the back there, please move across the road and park over there, please.
The next building.
They park it on the street.
No, this side is okay. Those are parking the other building.
Okay.
They park on the street.
If you park here, you're okay, but those that
Park at the back over there. Then please move your Thank you very much.
those that park along the road, you're okay. If you park behind this building, you're okay. But if you park in the other building, not this parking
are we good to go? Yes. I don't need to stop. The reason why
is in that building there.
Okay.
But if you park along the road there, you're okay.
If you park on this side, just move across the street. But if you park on this side, you're okay.
Yeah.
If you park on this side, you're okay. But if you park on that side, across the street from the other side.
please let me know when we are good to go. So are we okay now?
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Are we okay now? Yes. IPOB! One family! I'm going to call Nnamdi. My younger brother was born there. That is where my cousins come from.
Okay.
We were also there during the war.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. The reason why you need to pay $1 is this. There was a very rich man that came back to the village during Christmas like this. And the man brought bags of rice and tin tomatoes. And asked all the widows in the village to come. So you can give them some rice and tin tomatoes. So one man observed the wife getting ready to attend this rice sharing event. The man said to the wife, but they only called widows. You know what they did? The woman said to the husband, "Give your one." So if you're coming to count your typical census, you count the man as a man. But to the wife, the man is no longer a man. That is why you need to make contribution for us to know that you are there and part of us. So when consistently we speak with authority. And if you say that somehow we'll become we'll be, flush with money and that is not a good thing. Let me ask you this. Do you know how much it's costing us in Ebonyi to keep the Fulanis at bay in Ebonyi? Do you know how much it's costing us? Yeah. When any of our men fall on the battlefield, do you think we abandon their families? No. Do you think we abandon them? No. Those are some of the things that we're doing that you don't know about. We fought them in Anambra and we drove them away from there. We did. In Imo, the same. In Abia, the same. They want to use the cover of the barracks in Ohafia to come in. We said no. We drove them away. We are fighting every blessed day. And we need your support to sustain it. We didn't have this number of people in the diaspora between 67 and 70. If we did, we would have won the war. That I know for sure. Let us complete the job that our father started. Let's complete this very work that heaven wants us to complete. Thank you very much. you have any questions, you're free to ask. I believe I'm in order. Is that correct? Yes. There are questions you ask. Go ahead.
One at a time, please. What is your name? Please introduce yourself first.
Yes. Yes.
I know I'm not here for 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
I'm not here for 1 or 2 years. We have a lobbying. Lobbying everywhere.
Speak English, man.
Why English?
Why English?
Why because Biafra is
Okay. Okay.
English.
I got you.
The quickest way to get something here. Because the people who are lobbying on your behalf know the system. They know where the guns are buried. So it's usually the quickest way. So what my question is, which I will also commit myself to doing, is what's the best way to raise the funds for the lobby? That is my question. The money
thank you very much. Our brother is asking what is the best way to raise the money. If you have been paying this $1 a month, there will be no need to ask you to do anything, isn't it? Okay. Well, $1, what I mean, come on. Then from there we pay them. But what you do concede to is that lobbying is a very, very expensive business.
Are you an IPOB member?
Right now, go ahead. Are you one of us?
Right now, I'm not official.
Okay.
That's why I will go.
Okay. Now, there are those that may not wish to participate in the open. They provide help and assistance via the back door.
Yes.
They are also welcome to do so. So not everybody will be out there at the front doing something. Some will also want to support through the back door, and we must accommodate them. Very, very important. That was why I said that Onyema is the last person who would help. You are all aware that every group in the north, including the Alamajiri kids, they are all sponsored by their people. Isn't it?
Somebody stop.
If we can achieve what we have achieved, given our limited resources, imagine what we can do with so much more. Imagine what we can do. Lobbying is a very, you know, the zoo, who's is a banner that is within the zoo here. The zoo's firm is called Banner. They are the ones who send them at DC. Anyway, we go to they go the next day. Trying to rubbish us, telling the whole world we are terrorists, telling them that we started the war and all the rest of it. All the junk that the zoo can dredge up, they give to them, they submit to their people. So it's a very serious business, lobbying, and it costs a lot of money. Then my happiness, how did you even manage to afford to be paying them? I don't know. But we are doing the best we can. That is why every contribution you make never goes to waste. None goes to waste. I don't have a car. Understand this. I don't have a car, I don't have a business, I have no landed property, I have nothing, I have no savings. My savings is the coming of Biafra. When Biafra comes, if you want me to starve to death, then I will starve to death if you want. Because I need to keep my hands clean to be able to go very far. Because I understand Biafra more than most of you. Any day you become tainted, you start putting your mind on earthly things. Cars, buildings, hotels, investment. You're finished.
That's true.
And we can't afford to do that.
That's true.
Everything I want. You are going to give me inside Biafra, not outside it. Olilanya munine in this life is inside Biafra, not outside. You can't have a mountain and then you're resting, then the mountain is in front. Does that make any sense to anybody? Elohim has taken everything from me, my mother and my father. There is no other. I say to Chukwu Kikadem when I pray, there is nothing else you take from me. You've taken everything. Now all I'm asking for is for Biafra to come. Because every sacrifice has been made. What else is holy? And he said I should come and speak to you. That you people are very stubborn. Yes. Very difficult. And he said I should preach Exodus to you, which I will not preach today, about your stubbornness and the way you tempt him and the way your behavior is what led to people who are beneath you to be ruling over you. If you don't see that as punishment from God, that means spiritually you're blind, you cannot see. People you're better than, people that move cattle from place to place, are the ones ruling you. That means that God in heaven is upset with you. You must have done something wrong, and those mistakes is what we're seeking now to correct. To put ourselves on the path of the straight and the narrow, that we may be worthy to be called the children of Elohim. Thank you. Next person, please.
IPOD.
War family.
I said no. George does your as a can connect because for over 4,000 years, outside Moses, Joshua, and David, this is the first time you have waken us up. Here, Benjamin Netanyahu 3 months ago, this size of Bible code in our conference, he was telling a lecture that Israel has no constitution. He brought this Bible and told it, this is our constitution. And it started in 1948. We are very happy, IPOB family, here in Maryland and all over the world, that you are using the same foundation Israel used through David, Ben-Gurion, and Moshe Dayan, and Golda Meir, who was a student of Arizona University in 1943. And you are making our foundation to be like Israel. And you said it in your first broadcast that you will replicate IDF. And that is only hope we will have. And I've been watching all your broadcasts and all other broadcasts. You keep on saying the same consistency. And this is the first time a black leader is using that. And that will make Biafra to have integrity. And the foundation you made.
Ask your question, sir.
I don't have question. All I have is the praise and the foundation. And this is the only hope we have. The only question is not a question I would like us to have is in our flag. When we are going to hoist our flag in our freedom and independence, I would like us to include 7 stars. Stars, which means the 7 ethnic group of Biafra, with Ofonogu in the middle. Ofonogu, which is command and the status of God, so that well, the same thing Israel made. We must always we are not going to advance. And that is my contribution, and I want you to remember this. Thank you.
That's your opinion.
Thank you very much. It's the one you miss a gas on your number.
Thank you very much.
I like it. I like it very much. I like it, and your advice is taken on board, and we'll do something about it. I said something to people. When I went to Jerusalem to go and pray, you know, when the white man came, the British came, they said we have no history. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Huh? They said you have no history. I don't know they were hiding this from us. Who's Marochuku here?
I am.
Obu if you do.
Claire.
Arochuku.
Here she is.
Can anybody tell me the transliteral meaning of Yeshua in Igbo language? What's the meaning of Yeshua? Yeshua, which is Joshua anyway.
No.
You see, this is the problem that we have.
They don't know it.
They don't know it. Yeshua, which the Europeans called Jesus Christ, the name given to him by his father and his mother is Yeshua, Chizoba. Only the Israelites in Israel and us praise God with the name we give to our children. No other race does it. And Chukwu Kikabiama said to me that those that fought before fought under a different banner. That we should go to battle with his name, Chukwu Kikabiama, and see if we will not be victorious. That's why I'm very certain that Biafra will come. There are some who don't understand what we are doing. They say they are Omenala and Ordinala, who don't understand the spiritual dimension of this. Our land is holy, no doubt about that. Yes. I'm not saying it's not. So is also the land of Israel. That is why men go mad trying to conquer that very small place.
Yes, always.
But there is one original religion, only one, from which the other ones became branches. Is that correct? Yes. That original religion is the knowledge of one supreme creator and owner of the universe. One. That our ancestors worshipped. Our ancestors worshipped directly.
Yes.
But because Elohim is very fierce, they try to go through others to go and plead when they commit crime. Our ancestors, how many John? They can no longer go and pray direct. They start looking for one Amadioha or Aros to go and take him. Do you know that's why you have Aros in our place?
Yeah. The small angels.
Do you know that they are small angels? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Are you sure they know this?
We know.
Small angels.
People have cheese, lesser gods, small ones, because the big one, when he gets upset, he kills everything inside.
Yes. Chikubu.
King Kuku, that big one, when he's upset, he kills everything. So when they commit that their crime, they do in those olden days. I told me the word is listening. They hide behind the lesser god and ask that lesser god to please beg the big one. Do you now understand?
Yes.
Not that you worship those small deities. No. They are messengers. We ask them to go and please go and beg for us. Because when Elohim is upset, you know what happens. Many
That's what happened. I don't want us to misunderstand it because some people think they confuse Ordinala with Omenala and what we are doing. No. The worship of Elohim is not a religion that you can call a particular name. Because that is the original, the number one. Number one. I've said this many times on Radio Biafra. In the olden days, before you become an Nze, not this one, the appendix of America. Let me tell you why, what used to happen before you become a titled man in the olden days. Nze Ozo. You bring out your tongue and they will make 7 incisions on your tongue. That's true. They make 7 marks on your tongue and it will bleed. Yes. And from that day, any day you lie. Yes. That is why you have to speak the truth to remain alive. If you lie, you will die. Yes. And that's why they started hiding under Amadi on hand. Okay, all that rubbish. Because you know if you lie, you're gone. And also go and check in our land. You know the boundary, we call it okay. In our land.
If you move it.
If you move it from where it is,
right.
it will never be well.
It's in the Exodus.
Yeah. All these things that people tend to confuse, they don't understand. They don't understand what is behind what we are doing. It's a mystery to most people. Yes. They thought we woke up one day and started to do, oh, Biafra is no. We understand the sacredness of our land and what Chukwokika Biama said. Our clock started ticking from the year 2012, 75 years from then. If we don't achieve Biafra, I don't know how many years, I don't know within how many years, but if you don't achieve Biafra as soon as possible, our race will be destroyed. And it was then that the BBC issued, no, it was actually United Nations, that issued a very grim report that the Igbo language will cease to exist within 75 years. These are some of the things that you don't know. So we are running a race against the clock to restore the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth, which Biafra is. Which Biafra is. Some don't know this, but we do. So it's not just about freedom fighting for the sake of it. We are trying to do the will of God. Yes. People who don't understand won't understand. Thank you very much.
Yes. Right here. Give me
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Why you?
Take this one.
Oh, take this one.
Take it on. Okay. That one.
My name is Dr. Felix Onyis. I'm a Biafran veteran, 10-year-old, trained by Major Amajo at Olokrumai. I'm also from SMBC. My number is BA308456. I'm holding a lead in the Reiki. As I'm talking, I see faces of people who died. 9 years, 10 years. I'm a recent IPOB member.
Louder, please.
I'm a recent IPOB member. I ate in the same table with Uju. No, I come to my problem is America. Your leadership in America. America is the leader of the world. I'm here 44 years old in America. And the people we have put or allowed in the leadership are the people holding us from getting Biafra. You have said it here. And I'm here to look at their faces. Some of them have spoken to me. As I was before I people. Your leadership is why we don't have Biafra today. Don't answer me here. We were here in New Carrollton. Yes. I have a house not too far from. I called my junior brother when I had it. I just drove from Philadelphia. I've been gone for 4 months. People been looking for me. I can't say where I went. I just came back. Immediately I closed my office. I called my younger brother. I said, go there and see you. He saw you. When you went to Chicago, another one saw you. It's on the video. Not here, please. Gather your coordinators in U.S., your leadership. There are a problem here in U.S. Because you said here, excuse me, because if you're afraid, the fear fears the fearless. I'm a reverend, a chief. There's no title they haven't given me. I'm in Nigeria 4 months, 3 to 4 months every year. Umahia. I am the pioneer of medical mission. I'm the pioneer of telemedicine. Now, it's God. This, I don't call this Bible. Basic instruction before you live on earth. I call them the manual of life.
Yes.
If you have TV, you have your iPhone, and you buy it from Best Buy, they give you a manual. It tells you the parts in it. It tells you how to work it. If you can't work it right, you can't get the best. The same with that TV. That's the problem you all have. I read this. I read this at the age of 10. During the war, I read the whole thing. I read it every single year. This is how I've concluded it. I read the whole Quran, the Gita of the Buddha. I studied religion, and what you're saying is, so I've been listening to you for years. I'm before I'm here. Now, go and talk to them. They are a problem. The vision I have for Biafra is not really democracy. The only democracy there is come and vote, determine who leads you. But we need a meritocracy. Meritocracy. That's what China does. I've been to China many times. Your coordinators need to read. REA, the readers are leaders. I do leadership training. I'll give you my private number 24/7. I've been an advisor to African presidents. I won't mention them. They don't read. We don't read. Africans. After certificate, after school, that's it. Even here. Anybody have read the 3 novels this year? Please raise your hand. Nobody. I read average of 40 to 50 books every year. I've read 41 this year. I just ordered 11 books. You can't run this world with common sense. All these things you're talking about here, I know. And all this stuff. Because you read. That's why you can lead. That's the problem with Fulani. You're right. How can someone who didn't go to school run? I have an office in Abu. I have across Nigeria. That's my number one. Then this is another important one that will get us to one of the things we need. Who knows about Bruce Mayrock here? Bruce Mayrock. Raise your hand. Bruce Mayrock. Anybody know about Bruce Mayrock? You know about him? Bruce Mayrock died what? May 30th, 1969. At the age of 20, 1949 to 1969. This is the young man that sat in the corner in front of United Nations and set himself on fire because of Biafra. He did something only Jesus did. And all of you know about him. I have it. Go to obituary.com. You will see his grave there. I put this. You can go there, put a flower, and memorize him. You don't know. We need education. Your coordinators are doing nothing. This man here has been with me to fish out our younger children born here to educate them about Africa. We do that. That's what you need. Our leaders in America is a problem. They are holding Biafra. They are looking at me. If they doubt me, they come to me. I can come and say it loud and clear. That's true. Yes. That's why we say that if they don't move, we are going to find another direction to work with you and get what we want. It's an emergency. We have an emergency. We have an emergency. They are the problem. Now, I have said now, Onyendu, with your permission, I want to propose that May 30th next year, we are going to Bruce Mayrock grave. Light. I'm looking for the family. I have seen one lady here responded, but not two of. We are going with the candlelight that day. If we go there with candle, all this major media will come out. The whole children will come out. That's how we can announce to the world that we are serious. Everybody come out after the marching on June 20th. I mean, before that, we take candlelight, Biafran light, stand there for as long the media will come. His grave is there. Go to obituary.com. Go there, all of you now, and put there. Rest in peace. You see my own there with a flower. You do it, obituary.com. Thank you. Those 2 things are all I want. Our leaders here need to set up. If they don't sit up, change them. Because before President Clinton left to Nigeria, what did he say? He said, when you, well, it was Albert Einstein that said it first. When you see, insanity is when you continue to do the same thing again and again, and they're getting the same result. That's how he defined insanity. And that's what we are doing. You are asking us, have we gone to our congressmen and senators? Who is supposed to lead that and do it? Our coordinator. Have they done it? No. No. Are they encouraging people to do it? No. So that's our start. From today, the dynamics must change. Thank you, God. Thank you.
The ladies, any of the ladies?
Yeah, I said everything now.
Ladies? Any ladies?
I'm going to be very brief. I'm sorry. Come to mind the around. I'm not saying more grease than elbow. It takes one man to birth a nation, and it takes a multitude to build a nation. Peace, hope. And I strongly believe that every true Igbo man believes that you are God sent.
For sure.
As everybody's here.
Yeah, that's it.
And I know what it would take for you to come to America 1 or 2 times in a year and go to other nations. My first question is this. Is your $1 enough? Or is that the minimum? Can someone put more than $1?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Why am I saying this? It will not take only hundreds of millions. Think of lives that will be saved if Biafra were to come tomorrow. Those lives are worth more than, each of them is worth more than $10 million.
Priceless.
As hardworking as you are. One other thing I want to stress is that the state, American State Department, they are going around, and once they know you are a Biafran, they tease you with certain questions. Where do you come from? They start the discussion. What they want to hear, I believe, that you are a Biafran and not a Nigerian. Because you tell them you're a Nigerian, they believe you're still not sure of what you want.
Absolutely. It's true, they're going around.
You can say, I'm a Biafran, but in Nigeria, I assume the person pretends not to understand the location of Biafra. You let them know. I've encountered so many of them. My name, Joseph Nwavorese Chimaroke. Abonobo. Was born in Aba and raised in Aba. If you knew there was Boys Company in 1967, I started it by the grace of God. The Boys Company that later became the Civil Defense of Aba. I was born and bred there. It was in 1967. I was supposed to go to high school. But the war, because they were bombing schools. Later, by the age of 14, I was a trained commando at Madonna 3, VA 287031. So, what am I saying? I am in America by the unction of God.
Always.
I never desired to come. I read in Europe, went home an architect 6 years after. In Nigerian politics, God said, come here to preach the gospel. I am a pastor. Praise the Lord. And the issue of Biafra has been a burden in my heart. And of course, God has been giving some revelations. The last was that we got Biafra, but they killed a lot of our people. And I was one of those who were going around checking the dead bodies. Some of them were in the gutter. But there was a certain level of joy in us as we are looking at this thing. So it means that we got Biafra. That was the 3rd time I'm having such a revelation from God. So I want to say also to you, more grease to your elbow. Don't relent. It will cost us an arm and a leg. It doesn't matter. Yes. Praise God. So $1 is nothing to you. I'm sure if we decide that we can make it $100, we can do that. May God bless you.
But let me speak in English. And I want to be very brief because I know there are so many people that would have been in much better position to ask questions. And just like my brother said, it's a minister and God bless you, we're in December yet. There is something that brought me here this evening. I had several commitments here in Baltimore, but when I had this, less than 24 hours, I said I will be here, is that my wife went to U.S. fingerprint place. And based on the revelation that the Lord gave to me, I told them when you go there, fill that application as a Biafran. You did. I will tell you. She went there and filled in the column where it said nationality. It says something like they say Biafran. Then they asked her a question. The lady came back with the paper. I don't know the kind of paper she filled. And asked her, is it a new nation where you say Google it? That's what she told the lady. And she Googled it right there before her. I said, you okay? She ticked it as a Biafran. And my wife got her fingerprint document sent back to her as a Biafran. Awesome. So that inspired me a lot because, like, to cut it so short, that's why I'm going to cut it short because preachers talk too much. But it's not bad. But this thing I was telling you people, revelation about Biafra restoration was given to me in 1998. That was when Nigeria divided. So we are here to fill a mission. But my question is this, concerning this donation, contribution. One thing, what brought me here is that I want to know who is the coordinator here, because I don't believe in, there are so many chatter in the media, in the social media. Is this one, is that one. That's why I said I'm going to come personally, see who is the coordinator here, face to face, eyeball to eyeball, because I have over 50 people that wants to do some donations, and I can't even tell them anything, but to put it straight the way it is that what are we expected to do at the name, the information concerning the information where this money will be paid to, number one, because there are several informations out, even account numbers given, which were wrong. So I didn't know how to go, but I can't give anybody any information. Go this way, go that way. That's why I say it's better to come directly and by myself. That's it. Then secondly is this, the issue about Congress. Talking to our Congress people, before I even come here today, I have been talking to our Congress people. I personally wrote them letters of over 300 words. So there's something you mentioned, they say you will send us something that we will show to them as proofs. So I was trying to know how those things are going to be sent, because not only that, by the virtue of God's grace, I don't know how I got attached to President Donald Trump campaign team here in Baltimore. Then I sent the message directly to the president through one of the aides, and I got a reply. So I want to know, let me just conclude here. I hope you understood what I'm saying. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Can I say something 1 minute? A woman is here Ipob.
One family.
I thank everybody here. My name is Nnamdi. I'm an engineer, civil engineer, back in Diapora land for coming here.
An engineer?
Yes, civil.
Civil engineer?
Yes. But I'm not practicing in America, unfortunately. I listened to what our leader said. I'm gonna be brief. It doesn't make sense. Every one of us here knows how hardworking he is, and we contributing $1 is like a slap on the face. We know how much expenses are, both here in America and in Nigeria. He's taking out his time to travel to all parts of the world, and bringing out just $1 is just like we are not serious in what we are doing. If we can raise this to like $5, I don't think it's gonna be too much for any one of us. When you go to McDonald's, I don't think they sell anything $1 there. You have to understand that the economic situation in Nigeria is more than what we are seeing here. And my second opinion again is he has told us that he has no income, he has no bank account. We have to make a provision to at least, even if we contribute money, let us set something aside that this is what we'll use in supporting his mission. You know, he cannot steal. He cannot be bribed. So it is all of us here and maybe in other countries. If I can get out to other people, let us have a certain pause where we say this is for the support of his mission, both his transport, hotel accommodation, feeding, you know. That might be another idea that I'm just trying to put up. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
IPOB.
One family.
If I can be one. The leadership of IPOB, I have said that this is my first time I've ever meeting our leader. And I said to him, I said to myself that I will let him know that he represents the very pure and true essence of an Igbo man, upright, unshakable. I said that. A man that represents our truth, a custodian of our truth. It's not by coincidence that you are here. If our Chukwu appointed for this, and when they came to storm your house, I was just so despondent. Oh, Jesus. And then I saw you in Israel. I said, man, because he survived that, Diapora is here. Yes. Because he did, Diapora is here. My question is this. When this third class politician, Omo Agege, they call him also, that is going around trying to make his people not be part of IPOB, you know. He's just going around doing that. I think he's a vice Senate president. Exactly. And he's been doing that. Ask Kamalo your feeling about this.
I will answer, and thank you to all of you, including those that spoke, and our dear sister. Thank you very much. I can use this. Thank you. If Omagege is so-called Shekiri. Is it Shekiri? If our own Efulefus couldn't stop us, I also believe that he will not be able to make any difference. Yes. Because Ishekiri is Biafra. Yes. They are also blessed with common sense and ability to reason. Yes. The same way you're gathered here today is how Ishekiris all over the world are gathering and making sure that Biafra becomes a reality. Yes. Yes. Anything Omagege is doing, he is bound to fail. Yes. And what happened to the others will happen to him. Of course. He will serve the zoo He will come back in shame.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sir.
Okay.
My name is Anwar Amusu from Onga in Anambra State. Nobody will tell me about the history of Biafra. If you know what Onga stands for, you should know better.
Airport, yeah. Airport.
So we'll have the history about Biafra and we suffered for it. But my question is this. What is the best strategy to market Biafra movement within America? And I mean, within the circle of our people living in America. Why I ask this question is this. Our people are afraid. In fact, it looks like they are ashamed of discussing the topic Biafra. Even in different organizations, town union organizations, and committee of friends, if you mention anything about Biafra, nobody want to listen to you. Why are we ashamed to discuss this? I'll give you one example. I belong to Anambra Association. When there was a massacre in Ozobo, this recent massacre, I was so devastated. I mentioned that topic to the organization. Asking them, what are we going to do to help these people the government is destroying their lives? Do you know what somebody told me? This is the wrong place to discuss this topic.
How old is the person?
They know themselves. Some of them they say they are old enough. They are veterans, Biafran veterans.
Not Biafran veterans. No Biafran veteran will ever say that.
Never.
Honestly, my director, I'm so extremely disappointed. I told them. As a matter of fact, you know what they said? They said that we should discuss the topic whenever we have meeting. And the meeting is likely to be next year. Because there is end of the year party which they have to do. I said, look, life is more important to me than enjoyment.
Always.
How can I be enjoying and then people are suffering? I said, it makes no sense. Yes. America stands for charity and a humanitarian work. So what are we doing? That's the question I asked them. And the next thing they threatened, oh, they're going to get me out of the meeting. And you know what? Before they get me out of the meeting, I got out of the meeting myself.
Immediately.
Because I am extremely passionate about this struggle. So I'm suggesting that we should do thorough marketing of this brand. If everybody is ashamed of being a Biafra, I'm not ashamed. And again, most of the people who are looking up to, you know what they're doing, my director? These people are busy conducting traditional marriages in America, chieftaincy, perversion of the culture. They don't want to do something that will encourage we youth to come out and see what we can do for our future. Honestly, I'm not happy staying in America here.
Never.
Because I know the best vacation I can have is back home.
Always. Always.
What we're doing here is not the best. My director, I have to commend you for your ability to be here. First of all, I told my friends that you changed my life. I follow you every time, every minute. I listen to Radio Biafra every time. My friends, when you went to Japan, I was talking with my friends in Japan. They were giving me feedback of what is going on. I watch you and I follow you every time. So keep it up. Keep the movement up. Without you, there will be no us here.
Yes, it's true.
You raise our consciousness.
Good time.
And I will conclude.
Forever.
And I will conclude by saying this. And I quote, Frank Fanon said, every onlooker is either a coward or a traitor. Thank you.
Of course. We are recording.
That was the highest.
We are recording.
That was a strong one.
Anambra Union in America will not support Biafra agitation because they take money from Obiano.
It's true.
And I say this with every authority.
Yes, and I'm not Christian.
That Biafra will be restored. Amen. And all those people who are not helpful when I came here, yes, they will not enter Biafra.
Yes, guaranteed.
I tell them this, to do everything they can in America in conjunction with the zoo to stop Ipob, to stop Biafra from coming. Because they will fail.
Yes.
Biafra will come, yes, and they will not enter Biafra.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Forever. Forever.
One family.
So my question is, because I know most of the time, my name is Chiamaka Chikuma, and I'm from Enugu. So my question for today is, I always mostly talk about how do we engage the youth in Biafra movement. And most of the time when we come together, the people we see around us are the elderly ones, the senior ones, the veterans. And I ask this question, where are your children? Not because I know you don't want to bring them here. And the other thing is that all this Igbo group or other groups that come together, a lot of the time their children are not even there. I talk to students, I'm a student, and most of the time when I talk to students around me, they don't even know anything about Biafra. Why? Because their father, their mother didn't tell anything about it. And when I remember speaking with one and he said, oh, the war. That was the only thing he remembered about Biafra. And now that we are fighting for the freedom of Biafra, none of them even recognize or even have idea of what is going on. So how do we, just as my brother said, how do we market Biafra out there? Because we need to go beyond this us and get into the life of the youth, the teenagers, and preach this gospel of Biafra, because we are not enough for the elders to say this to the youth. So how can we get out there to capture them young in order for us to really get our message out there? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nnamdi once again. As in Ahioman Eromi, is that correct? Yes. It is not how many that actually come on this very journey. It's actually how dedicated the few
always
that identify themselves are able to pursue this very project to its logical conclusion.
Yes.
When we started IPOB, we went like this, I'm sure. The people you are seeing here today only came because they were able to receive information. Less than 12 hours, is that correct?
Yes.
And on social media. These are those who are active on social media, I believe.
Yes.
Or that stumbled upon the fly on social media. Anybody that claims they don't know about Biafra, you are deceiving yourself and you're lying to yourself.
Always.
What we are going to do, our brother Ndukotugu Alala has said. I love you.
No, he's there.
Okay.
He's there.
Oh, okay.
On there.
They said here about the leadership in America. I used to watch Bugs Life. I watched it within America. I'm not watching it with Nnamdi as well. You know the movie Bugs Life? Have you seen Bugs Life?
It's a cartoon.
Yes.
It's a cartoon now.
Go and watch Bugs Life. Watch it. I remember Hopper, who was the principal grasshopper leading the troops against the ants,
Yeah.
saying to the newly appointed queen that the first rule of leadership, everything is your fault. If we are not doing that well, I will blame the leadership in America. Huh? And you, as a student, the best way to get something done is when you do it yourself. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you will also have the responsibility of making sure that our students actually come out to be part of this. And that's our brothers there as well. Unyoga, please stand.
That's a doctor.
A doctor.
I'm not doctor.
On his own way. As on the doctors and the nurses now, but they're going to America. He's a medical doctor. Is that correct? I have never seen, if in the understanding of the zoo, a medical doctor can be a miscreant. I don't know what an alamajiri Catholic will
terrorist.
Here is a medical doctor who is a miscreant in America. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
He will join us and profess solutions because I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I can't pretend I know everything.
Yeah, never.
There are some ideas and suggestions you bring that will run with it. You and our sister as well. We need to mobilize our students, and anything you need from IPOB leadership to make that happen, we'll do it. Another thing we are going to do in America is this. You must start IPOB family in your neighborhood. Some may not come out in the open. We must also create an avenue for those of them from zoo. You understand? They can come, you know the Nicodemus. They can come to the back door. We also accommodate them. And we must take this very gospel to every association, every group.
Yes.
Our children must have their own gathering. Don't you see what they're doing back home? Don't you see it? Yes. Children, 6 years old, 8 years old, they do their own thing. The fathers do their own things. So the kids will also do theirs as well. And our students too. The thing about it is that there's always this concerted effort to make you feel ashamed of Biafra and who you are. Don't allow them to succeed. Never allow them to succeed. We shall, and of course, as we develop all these new ideas as to what we are going to do, I'm even sure that our woman leader here, they also have their plans, and their wing is also growing very rapidly.
Yes.
Is to try as much as we can, wherever you are a coordinator. Are you listening to me? Yes. Wherever you, I have said this many times, on your street, you are a coordinator. Start an IPOB family wherever you are. Start one. In your school, you start one. Wherever you are, you start one. That is how we'll get this message across to our people. Thank you very much. Our sister, please.
Okay.
I'll have Biafra. I have to speak about the greet because, to be honest with you, I love Ipob with all my heart. They have been trying to make me stop, but I told them, look, I even want to know when they will start training us here, because we're gonna come home when it starts. Because war is inevitable. And I keep asking them, when are we gonna start training here to carry the gun? It's the only thing that we have to be aware that it's gonna happen. And they're gonna come home. And I will not go home not knowing how to shoot. Because before you kill me, at least I'm gonna kill somebody. Because I will not be there watching them to kill me. So I keep asking them, when I go, they're gonna start training out here. We can go to shooting range. But we have to start by planning it with our leaders here. The guy that said about our leaders here is because he said the truth. I could have dropped out since. But due to the love I have for Ipob, I couldn't drop out. The leaders you have here, the leader Ipob here, they are 16th century men who have no understanding. We are 21st century people. And this guy is leading on with archaic ideas. When you bring an idea, even a child can tell an adult to run away from danger. You don't have to say because a child will not run away from danger. If I tell you there's a danger, listen to me. The leadership you have here is the problem Ipob have. And the reason why Biafra have not come is because America is the one that will lead Ipob. No other people. This is where the money is. This is where the manpower is. This is where everything is. And we, all of us here, whether you like it or not, we need to carry gun. We need to know how to shoot. I don't know yet, but I want to know how to do it. But we need to start coordinating it. But the leadership here, when you are talking to them, they push you back. They're like, who are you to tell me what to do? I'm like, I'm a nobody. But I'm here because I love Biafra. I want to go home. I cannot walk like this forever. I'm dying. I want to go home. I want to, no, I know. But I want to go home. I cannot walk like this in the next 20 years like this. And if Fulani go and occupy my father's land, where am I going to go when I go home? To kill me will be easy for them. Because if they get people down there, when they guys who will do that? Nobody. So, Ahmadike, God sent you to do this work. Yes. I know it's not easy. I'm sorry for the death of your mother and your father. And I don't know how God gave you the strength to keep carrying on. Because I will not be able to carry on if it is me. I cannot carry on because I will break down. Because I know what it is. But the way you carry on like nothing happened, that shows that God is with you. And God has created you for this. Yes. I know you sacrifice everything you have for this. But God will repay you. I keep telling them, they say that Ipob, they tell me I'm a radical. I said, no, I'm not a radical. I know what is happening back down there, and it's paining me because it's my people that they are killing. And who is killing us? Dirty people that live in the bush. They do not want to come and watch my own TV in my own house. That is a mansion. And imagine want to come and occupy my own house from the bush that they are. And they will not even know how to keep it. Because when they come in, they will just mess up everywhere because they don't know what it is. We are brought up decent. They are not brought up decent. They don't know what it means to keep anything. And they want to come and occupy us. Take our own father's house. So for God to bring you out to do this, He will keep you. And will give you what you need.
He said.
Thank you very much, my dear sister. Thank you very much for that. As I said before, there is a place where you work. Everybody has a job to do in IPOB, all of us here together. There's something, somebody will come around and take your details. There's something you will do for us. And we can move on because IPOB structure and the way we work is designed to make sure that we don't lose focus or discipline along the way. Sometimes it may not all go well with some of the radical ideas that we have, but we still welcome those ideas and we intend to implement them. But I think you work with the women's wing to make sure that some of those ideas are implemented. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm Stephen I have to thank you, Mr. Chairman or President. I have to give you that President. We are saying
inflate your voice.
Please, I have to thank you, for all what you are doing. It's not easy. It's not easy because a lot of things is going on. You put it aside and keep moving on. I pray that God will give you the grace to carry on this mission and nothing will happen to you. And we pray that we're behind you. In anything we can do to support you, I hope we will do. And I'm saying it this evening, please, that $1 is not enough. If you can do $20, I think $20 will be enough at least. Let's do with $20. Let's say $10 going for the phone and $10 for his, moving around, going, because whenever he comes here, you got to rent a car, come to this place.
For your information, it is from $1. From $1. From $1. It's not $1, it's from $1. Thank you.
And secondly, whenever I look on internet, I always cry each and every day. How these people moving every corner of Biafra land. I don't even sleep because I have brothers and sisters. Because actually, when you are and if you are here and your people are there dying, tell me how you are going to sleep or how you are going to eat and have peace of mind. To be honest to you, that bothers me a lot. And now my question is this. The way things are going on, they are bringing their troops each and every day. How do we have anything in case if this thing happen? Do we have anything for those that are back home to start with? You understand? That is why I'm talking about $1 cannot, help us. And another thing, please let me say it here. Everybody that is here, know it right from this moment. We are not free. Nobody think that you are free. Even if you are free here, your people back home are not free.
Of course.
Please, let us do something before it is too late.
Yes.
Before it is too late. Unless somebody that doesn't watch his cell phone each and every minute. Sometimes I quarrel with my wife because I don't sleep. I'm telling you, each and every minute I'm on my phone, I'm shedding tears. Sometimes she brings food, I say I'm not eating because I know what it is. I witnessed Biafran war when I was little. People die, and we don't want something to happen. Please, we need something. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. I know that some of you have work to do. What we are saying is that $1 is the minimum, and the best thing for us to do is identify who your local coordinator is. If you have no coordinator, you start an IPOB family where you are. As simple as that. Please, wherever you are, you start an IPOB family. And make contact with the state coordinator, and then from there we take it on. Thank you very much. Can our mother here have, I call everybody mother, once you're a woman, you're a mother. Can you give her the microphone so she can speak?
The other mother, two mothers, one mother.
One is coming.
Mother is coming, another mother is sitting there.
Yeah. All have Biafrans.
All have Biafrans.
One family.
One family. Okay. So I have a song, but before this, I have a little thing to say. My sister was crying that she's still here. Look at me with my age. I've got my children, all my children are in Nigeria. Whenever I tell them I want to come home, they will say, Mommy, it's better you stay here. No matter how you are suffering, you are helping us down home. If you come home, you can't stay for 1 year, and you are gone. I started thinking, I said, so now I'm in a foreign land. I don't know what will happen to me tomorrow. And I don't have any hope as to when I will go back home. I have a song, and the song goes, Dini le soro Nnamdi tahu emesia age soro Nnamdi ngoriongu na la Biafra. Dini le soro Nnamdi tahu emesia age soro Nnamdi ngoriongu na la Biafra.
No space here.
What is it? Can you hear microphone?
Yeah. Thank you. I want to use this opportunity first of all to thank Onyendu and his deputy, Uchemepo. The day Yusu kidnapped Onyendu, I was going to work, and Uchemepo came up on Radio Biafra and announced that DSS have kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and they're on their way to Abuja. I turned my car. I went to because I couldn't move. I couldn't see anymore. Let me tell you, the wrestlers of which I fought during the absence of Onyendu, very trying 2 years period of our time, is the reason why we're still here.
Yes.
Despite all temptations, all the troubles he went through, sabotage,
Yes.
despair, he kept me alive.
Yes.
And I want this opportunity, please, to clap for him. Clap for him.
One more applause. One more applause.
And like they say in America here, loyalty is number one.
Always.
Loyalty number two.
Yes.
Loyalty number three.
Yes, always.
There's no point telling me, oh, my wife is very pretty and I have a pretty husband and everything, and he doesn't come home even before 12 midnight. Is worthless.
Always.
Loyalty is number one. Even in this country, most of you who are in corporate America here know that if you are not loyal, if you like manufactured airplane, you are off.
Of course.
That is number one.
Always.
Now, I would just want to go, I'll take about 2 minutes. Somebody came here and mentioned the reason why our people are not joining IPOB or coming out. And I'll refer you to a famous black abolitionist. His name is Nnamdi. He's from Huntington, Virginia. Born in 1800, and he died in 1831. And I watched him. You see, he came out and gathered 1,000 men and said, how many of you need freedom? Move forward. And 900, this is a real story, you can Google it. 900 moved forward, and the 100 was left behind. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get rid of this one behind me because this is our real problem. You can Google it. It's a great story. He led Nat Turner, M-A-T, Nat Turner. This guy led the first revolution and abolitionist movement. He gathered both the freed slaves and the free slaves. And in 1831, when he saw an eclipse, it's a true story, of the sun. If you look at it, you see it passed through Virginia. And he said it was his black ancestors that gave him this sign to strike. And he led them, and they killed 60 white people, children, men and men, that night. This guy was one of the brightest preachers. He taught himself, read this Bible. He said he was inspired. And that is why they descended on the black slaves in 1831, 32, 33, 34. Massacred, that is, killed all of them. Tried Turner. Turner was flayed, beheaded him. His head is now in National Museum, Black Museum, his head, because they have to find him. Even the judge who tried him wrote a book. They call it Natas Confession. So that is why in every gathering, in any war, they treat saboteurs very harshly. People gave him up because he went ahead and somebody went and told the enemies where he was hiding in a convent that was covered by a fence. Enemies within is our problem. Some people are complaining that people are not joining, or when you go to a meeting and then nobody wants to talk about Biafra.
Always.
Be it Enugu, I'm from Enugu State. Be it Anambra, Abia, and everything. And you know why? All 99.9% of all the presidents, all the public relations officers, or for Igbo or Biafra land in this country, we are sponsored and paid for by our politicians back home. Always. They were paid and put there. They are also members of this forum. So when they talk and they see you, they call themselves, oh, get rid of this one. We don't like what he's saying, and they get rid of you. They are paid agents. They are paid monthly. Some of them have been offered houses back home. So that's why I say, oh, if you want to do it, this is not the forum. You have to go to another forum. That's not true. There is no true Biafran who do not want to be free. We are in this country because some people died, fought for it, were free in this place, opening our mouth and shout, enjoying air condition. Since we came here, they can never taken the light or the water, unless there's severe weather.
even then they will apologize to you. Always. And we enjoy it here, and they tell me that these guys are normal.
They're not.
Let me tell you, it's not going to stop because they know that the power is here. Every session, that's why they're fighting us in here. It is a very relentless war. You're looking at a guy who have been excluded from Enugu, USA, because the first video that was posted when the man was chased in Germany, a friend of mine, a cardiac surgeon, and a schoolmate, and a classmate, a roommate, sent me that video. And one person who sent it out and made it viral. And they traced it to me and made sure they removed me from Forum of Enugu USA till today.
Better for you.
Better for you.
No. Meanwhile, I am the highest donor, the chairman of all the occasions in that forum. By the way, I'm a medical doctor of 35 good years. Wow. Do one for that.
Always. The best.
So, I'm telling you, people cannot give up. Because you are looking at a divine man with a divine project. Babs. Of course. Let me tell you too. I had people are complaining leadership and everything. It is not easy to lead our people. You have to realize that one quality of leadership is you lead by example. If you criticize me once, please praise me. If you criticize me 3 times, praise me once. Secrecy is a source of power. There's a reason why we give this short notice. Give about, say, 2 days or 2 hours. There's a reason for that. And those people that make sure that this guy is safe, this man, I want to do. These people have a pride for me. Because all they didn't do, that's okay. Of course. All right. So, because he got the channel.
Yeah, madam. Always. Keep it up.
From Texas.
And the reason I come to Dr. Esther Eke.
The doctor can carry about.
Following our supervision, I'm not a member, but as of today, I like what we're doing. So, I really can see.
Go ahead.
And when I parents again, every day, every anyway, we are here in Houston, Texas, because I'm a person anyway, fake news and that's normal. I don't think it.
All the way from Houston.
Yeah. It's not I'm overwhelmed. I'm very, very overwhelmed. I've been here in the U.S. for 30 years. It's time for us to go home.
Yes.
And,
you are right.
To the point that we are all here wasting our talents. And really, we can do the nation better. Okay? I mean, in terms of hospitals,
everything. We have it all. Everything.
Yeah,
we have it all.
We're just praying for this Biafra to be reality. And all of us will come out. But right now, the question for you is, I took on the Facebook advertising. In fact, I'm not on the follower. In fact, I have the Diapora app. So problem right now, when the Cameroon now jumps in,
that English speaking Cameroonians, na ha chọrọ ijoin kwa Biafra because ebe a ka ha si so you nwere ike ị na-ekwuzi now na-expand na-asị Biafra home for Igbo people. It's for all of us. So the tribe, Mandi, Rivers, all those people, even Yoruba people, they're all so if we say now, I say, okay, Biafra is for you and me. For freedom. Even Hausa people. So I thank you so much. All you will team expand. Another thing, the Biafra money, as of now, how again eBay. Really? Yeah, I have to show you to you now. It's $200. How much? Yes. For 1 pound. You can go on eBay. Come on, the money Amaka. This is Biafra pound. They are the Biafra pound. I know. Another thing, a bunch of people now. This T-shirt anyway. Maybe the program and the proceeds will go to you guys. Okay. So you're gonna Biafra that shop. No, that one thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to answer what you said regarding Ambazonians. Regarding Ambazonians. Okay. When the Ambazonian president went to Sweden, he was also welcomed by Biafrans.
Oh, that's good.
He was also welcomed by Biafrans when the Ambazonian president went to Sweden. So we are a lot closer than the outside world. No. And for understandable and strategic reasons, we're keeping it that way. So we are all one, and who knows, in the future, we may even become one nation. And IPOB, as I said earlier, is fighting for the liberation of everybody. There are people from Edo that want to be part of Biafra. You can't stop them. Yes. No. Anybody can join IPOB. Yes. Anybody can, including Hausa people, they can join if they want. If you subscribe to our way of life, value system, live and let live, democracy, equality before the law, then you're a Biafran. So we're fighting for everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. And okay. And after you, please, can they give to that our mother? Yeah, she's been. I asked her to speak for a while. After you, then it's her, please.
Thank you. All hail Biafra. I'm Dr. Donald speaking.
Another Dr. Kabito.
Dr. Kankweba. I have an observation.
Go ahead.
Each time you pronounce something right in your face, some people dislodge what you say. I followed your broadcast. I listened to your broadcast in Israel. You said, let there be county by county. Let's establish county by county families. And they are all families, you have their coordinators and everything. And right now, you just said that you can become a coordinator wherever you are. But we have a problem, sir.
Yeah, what is it?
The problem is, those of us that will start families are not recognized by the cabal or some clique or some people that arrogate to themselves some level of power or authority to dislodge the main focus of IPOB. They thereby exclude the majority and then walk in seclusion. Now, my point is this again. There is a problem right here in Maryland. And I remember in Atlanta, you appointed a national mobilizer who should be in charge of affairs of IPOB nationwide. To our surprise, you'll be amazed that this man has been sidelined and he cannot operate. And second of all, there is this idea from the national coordinator. I say things they are. I say things the way they are. I'm fearless. There is somebody in the name of a national coordinator who professed to somebody that if the zoo government gives him money, that he will take it, but then will not deliver what they want. This is a clue of the kind of people that are the helm of affairs in the United States of America. The movement of IPOB is stalled. You might not see it from England. We live here, we see it. There is no progress anywhere, sir.
That's right.
Sir, Deputy Uchemefo was here 2 years ago, last year, 2 years? 2 years ago, yes.
He was there last year.
Yes. Last year. He tried to fix the situation in the name that everything was okay. He left, things went back to square one. You even looked somebody in the face who accused somebody of stealing public funds and said, do you have any evidence that he stole money from the meeting, from the family? Yaso Mba. But to our surprise, to your surprise, the rumor still goes on that somebody stole somebody's money, group's money and everything. So this is the problem we have, sir. Please, I don't know how you're going to do it, but it would be nice if you fix this problem before you leave. We want to move forward, just like what my sister said. This is 21st century. We have capable men and women that can execute IPOB projects. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I want to answer very, very quickly.
Quiet. I appointed a national mobilization officer, and I want the whole world, because the world, we are live to the whole world.
Yes.
Don't mind that you're just seeing only 2 computers here. The whole world, people are listening in Diapora via FM.
Yes.
So everything you're doing here, the whole world is observing it, watching and listening attentively. There is a way that IPOB works. I have said here, go and become a coordinator wherever you live. But that doesn't mean that you are IPOB on your own, doing whatever you like. No. We all have a chain of command. You have to respond to. That's how we operate. The National Mobilization Officer is not in charge of anything. All he does is open families and hand over to the state coordinators. And his job is done. And he should also be part of the national executive. In other words, he should be part and parcel of the running of IPOB in the United States of America. I have a flyer with me here that says East Coast. East Coast. I don't know where East Coast is. But I know, I'm coming. I know Maryland. I know Massachusetts. Have you heard of it? I know Virginia. East Coast. I know Washington. East Coast. I know New York. East Coast. I know New Jersey. East Coast. East Coast. Now, what we have done is to decentralize as much as possible. Every state in America, IPOB family is autonomous.
So I recognize only states as it is right now. So New York is a state and run their own affairs, pay their dues direct to Germany. Same thing goes for New Jersey, for Washington, for DC area, for Maryland, and the rest of it. And I would very strongly suggest that our people who are in the East Coast should go back to the local families they have and be a part of it.
That's where we are.
Yeah? Now listen very carefully to me, please. There is no East Coast. Please, very, very important. All of you in the East Coast, if you are in Maryland, you report to the Maryland family. If you're in Virginia, you report to the Virginia family. And DC the same. Now, I do concede that it's something we don't do very well, which is to identify good ideas and raw talent and be able to nurture them and take that along. We are going to build something into the national structure of USA to recognize people who are willing and able to do or to execute projects that will add value to what we are doing.
Yes.
Do you understand me?
Yes.
So that ideas can be carried along and no one will be left behind. And I want all the coordinators listening across America and all over the world to try and be like me. I'm a very inclusive person. Anytime I come to do something, I start from a position that I don't know everything. I'm always learning. If they tell you I can learn something from a cartoon, Bugs Life, you won't believe it.
That's why you're doing
But I was watching it with my little boy, and I learned something from there. I'm sure some people will say, how can I learn something from ordinary cartoon? But I learned something from it. We must be receptive to ideas and not feel threatened all the time. Somebody can bring a good idea, and we feel to ourselves, if we execute this very idea now and it becomes very popular and widely acceptable, they may take my position from me. That's what we think sometimes. And it shouldn't be that way. That is what we are going to do. We have Dr. Koro, who is Dr. Koro. I'm in Koro, America. He is our national coordinator. And you also know that sometimes I allow people to remain in their position because in the new Biafra, we would run a multi-party democracy. You may lose election this year, and the other party will have to be in power for about 4 to 5 years. I don't expect you to pack your things and run away from Biafra land because another person is in charge. I expect you to do all you can to support that administration and even bring your ideas to allow them to grow. So I expect everybody here to support what Dr. Koro is trying to do in IPOB. Give him advice, and he may not take it today, tomorrow he will take it. That's the way it is. And another thing is this: as long as you're able to function and flourish in IPOB, your ideas taken on board, you shouldn't have any worries as to who your leadership is. Do you understand? Or else you become like any other evil organization, struggling all the time to pull down the leadership. As Doc said a while ago, when you criticize somebody 4 times, at least praise them once, so that when you talk to them, they can listen to you. That's what we're going to do. I repeat, please, I repeat very strongly.
Can you listen?
There is nothing like East Coast. I've seen this flyer. This thing, if you want to run any project involving all the states, the question is there. You speak to the various coordinators and you say to them, can we all get together and do something? That's how it's supposed to be. And nobody will exclude anybody. They do something.
Dr. Koro excluded.
Who is excluding you?
Dr. Koro.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yes, hold on. Please listen to me. Listen to me. Which state do you belong to?
My name is Jesse Woke. I'm from Afara, and in Imo State. I'm with the Maryland PG,
Maryland. That's what I'm saying. Maryland.
Yes, yes.
Who is the coordinator for Maryland? Who is the coordinator?
Can I tell you what you have at these 2 minutes?
I want the state coordinator. Hold on. Listen. I said wait. Hold on. I want us to understand how IPOB functions. If you are from Maryland, this is your coordinator.
But he's talking. Allow him to talk.
Hold on. Are you listening to me? Yes. Now I want you to listen again very carefully. This is the Maryland coordinator.
Okay.
And you have no business as an IPOB family member in Maryland with what Okoro is doing nationally. Because, hold on please, before you get through to Dr. Okoro, you must go through.
Yes.
I want you to understand, for the sake of discipline.
Always.
There are many fake IPOBs all over the place. People open their shop and say how IPOB, but they're not. So we need to be able to identify those that follow our command and control structure.
Always.
If you are not disciplined, you cannot be in IPOB.
Period.
Just with discipline.
Period.
And whether, listen please, whether you like it or not, this is your coordinator in Maryland.
Yes.
And listen please, the buck stops with him.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Now,
structure.
No. Can you settle this issue once and for all?
Discipline. We are not going anywhere. We don't want any primitive.
I need you to understand something. Understand what I'm saying, please. You are in Maryland. Consistent, never changes. Yes. Very, very consistent.